Yeah, what about them Marlins, huh? How about them Marlins?
What about them? And do not
They suck.
those of the Beasley Broadcast.
How about those Blackhawks? All right.
You're listening to South Florida Sports Radio.
560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Sorry, it starts out quiet.
Oh, so it's real low. Although I can almost speak today.
560 WQAM presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, dial
Joe Bell is the Antichrist.
560 in Dade and Broward. In other counties, call toll-free 877-785-NEIL or pound 560 on your AT&T and Verizon
But he loves
wireless
you,
phone.
George.
The opinions expressed by Neil, his guests, or his callers do not represent those of WQAM management, staff, or sponsors.
No.
Now, The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM.
Sister Mary Catherine, Jesus.
That's Jesus El Cristo to you.
Let's abuse some more prisoners. Make them scream nice and loud. Get me some wires and a battery pack. I don't care if they ain't from Iraq. Should be used to the torture. 'Cause we're just playing their game. In the past, it had to be worse with Saddam Hussein.
10:01 at 560 WQM, and the last 5 minutes of yesterday's show, I thought I was just gonna get up and walk out.
I thought you were going to die.
No, I just had that lung in the throat where you just can't speak, you know.
You had a phlegm ball you could not get on the other side.
That is correct. And here I am, and I can speak today. Not 100%, but about 90, 95. And I finally realized, being slow and stupid and old, which I am, this is just another sinus infection. When I first came up here, first 2 years I was doing the shows here, every winter I get numerous of those episodes. Coughing and choking, and you can't talk, and you're taking the tea and sucking on the lozenges. And then I went to see Dr. Hanf down there in Fort Lauderdale, and she got me onto Levaquin, and that cleared it right up, and I haven't had a problem since. And that's what this is. Oh, no, Neil, you've got the Schweinhund flu. This morning, the first email I opened up from that ass clown Phil Ark, whoever that guy is, a real jerk. And you're right. Now, having seen that movie Misery a couple nights ago, stalkers is the word. These people are stalkers. They want to inject themselves into your life. They want to tell you how to run your life, what to do. He's telling me, oh, you ought to be taking Tamiflu, and you ought to do this, and you're old, and yada, yada. So concerned about me. Don't worry, Phil. I'll survive without your help. Get your own life, will you, please?
I have no life.
I'm sure of that. I could read it to you, but I deleted it immediately, if not sooner.
It's all right.
Same old crap. Speaking of Misery, I saw a movie, kind of a counterpart to Misery last night, which I've seen, 2-3 times before. It's not what you call grade A. It's not, spectacular, but it's pretty good. It's enjoyable, especially because a younger Adam Baldwin is in it, who's not one of the Baldwin brothers.
Right.
He looks pretty good. And Justine Bateman is in it, and I don't care what you say. She is Mias.
Okay.
You think she's hot?
No, that's not what I said.
She's not even lukewarm, Justine Bateman.
That's not what I said.
What did you say?
I said, does she get naked?
No.
That's what I said.
And I asked you, why would anybody want to see her naked?
I said, I'll give her a look.
Oh.
That was the conversation.
I'd rather see him naked than her, but then again.
Go ahead and make up what you want from this point on, but that was the conversation we had.
Anyway, it's not bad.
Okay. I want to watch it. Even if she doesn't get naked.
It's a little hard-pressed for you to believe that after I don't want to do a spoiler here, but I will anyway.
Oh, it's okay.
After he's keeping her prisoner in her apartment. He's a crazy person, like our general manager. Although not that crazy. And she's a med student. And she just happens to have in her cabinet a container with botulism.
Okay.
I mean, doesn't everybody have a little thing of botulism in the cupboard?
I have too.
And she slathers it on his cheesecake, which just coincidentally, the top of the cheesecake is the same. The strawberry topping on the cheesecake is the same color as the botulism thing.
See how handy that comes in?
And he gets fever, and gets sick, and she beats him over the head with a lamp. And he spends one night in the hospital, then breaks out and goes and tracks her down, So that part of it's a little bit tough to to accept. Okay, I'm going to take a Strepsil Extra. not take it. I'm going to suck on it.
Okay.
Okay?
Is that
I'm
a
just telling
lozenge?
you right now, so if I start gagging and coughing again, you'll know. We think Neil's got the Schweinhund flu. The hype job that the media are doing on this is so incredibly, not unexpected, but just grotesque.
Well, I mean, it's not as important as the White House dog. You saw how much time they spent on
No,
that.
that's
or
true.
Susan Boyle.
The media is sick and needs help badly.
Right. Good point. And, you know, the president comes on and says it's reason for concern, but not for panic. And right away, everybody in the media is getting everybody whipped up into a panic. All these dead people in Mexico and yada, 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 and these students in New York who had just come back from Cancun, Mexico. My best suggestion to and I never gave the update on the I told you about it. I was so excited I sent you a text yesterday.
On the package.
The highly awaited package that had an important document in it for Paco. And it was coming Canada Post, a large cardboard envelope, like a FedEx envelope. Exactly the same size. And here I get this notice. I go online and track it. Oh, it was delivered Friday at noon. And I go down to the office, and it's not there. They have no record of it. So yesterday at 2 o'clock, Paco was so worried about it, he even took off from school yesterday. Thank God. And at 2 o'clock, we go downstairs, and I was going to go to the office and, say, how did this get misplaced? Who lost it? And I said, look in your mailbox first. He opens up his mailbox. Now, as you would expect, in an apartment building of large size, the mailboxes are like, I don't know, what would you say, like 3 by 6, like that?
Little cubbies, little pigeonholes?
Yeah. And he says, it's here. And I look, and the mail lady, the lady that delivers the mail, she had taken this big FedEx-size envelope and folded it over almost like a paper airplane, like in thirds.
Nice.
Now, suppose there had been, like, some important pictures or something. And, say she had no idea what's in there.
Right.
I mean, as it turns out, it was just fine. But just... So that took care of that. That solved one problem. Then, as I told you yesterday, Norma Kent, and boy, she sure can't, was having that meeting with Joe Bell, that long-awaited meeting. It would have been better off if there would have been no meeting. That's my advice to you, Norma. Don't have any more meetings with Joe Bell. Refuse to speak to him. Don't take his calls. Pretend he died. Oh, God. So I'm waiting during the course of the day, in and around doing a bunch of stuff. And I never hear from Norma Kent, who was going to call me right after the show with a spy report.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he didn't, because finding that package was a lot more important than what he had to report to me. Same old crap. Joe Bell will do anything in his power to get rid of George. Oh, he's got to save money. He's going to show them how to make money, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't care. Let me tell you, and then this is what I just wrote back to Norma, who wrote me this long apologetic crap. After what they did to Ken Malden, nobody is safe.
Yeah.
Isn't that putting it well?
Right.
Here is one of the finest gentlemen who has ever worked in this business, ever, anywhere. Just a great guy. Who couldn't have been making, how much could he have been making? Not much.
No.
And they effed him. This man will F anybody to save his own fat ass, to be the hero for the Beasley Broadcasting Group. Give it your best shot, Joe. It says right in my contract, the producer has to be someone that I approve of, and you can bring me Flea's name or any other. Flea just sent me, by the way, a poll suggestion, a really bad one, too. I deleted it. What do you think that's all about?
I don't know. I didn't get it. Maybe I did.
I did.
I got it. No, I got the online contest email.
No. I wouldn't even forward it to you. But anyway, just keep in mind, I told you off the air before the show, and I'm putting it on the air because I want the entire audience to know that George is the next one whose head is on the chopping block, and for whatever reason.
Well, making all this money.
Oh, yeah. And the amount of money we're talking about is, and especially if he's really making that money now, then what's the problem? Why do you keep interfering with his show? You give us no support, Joe. Nothing. Nothing. I don't take calls anymore. Why? Because you've allowed two idiots to destroy the phone. And even the last time you did the show, you were practically in tears about it.
Mm.
Am I right?
Well, I wasn't in tears, but yeah, it's frustrating.
Frustrating and annoying, and not the way anybody should have to do a radio show. No support, no promotion, nothing positive. Everything with this man is always negative, negative, negative. And isn't it just a coincidence that everybody on a radio station, from Joe Rose, whose numbers now are half of what they used to be, to me, whose numbers are less than half what they used to be, to Jim Mandich, who's fading from the map, everybody is like falling off the face of the earth on QAM. And this man is talking a big game with Norma Kant, like, oh, he's doing a hell of a job, and he's doing ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, and showing them how to make money, and all this other crap. It's all about Joe. It's not about us. It's all about Joe. I wonder what time his show is on. And how much he loves this show, by the way. He's a big fan of the show.
Yeah.
Even to the point where he tells Norma that they couldn't possibly have deballed the show that much because Bubba the Love Sponge just yesterday morning said the Neil Rogers Show is the best radio show in the market.
Well, you see.
Yeah. That must prove that they haven't diddled with this show. What you've done to this show, I wouldn't do to Hitler, Joe Bell. And I'm trying to, hang on to George's back here the best I can, but
thanks.
I'm telling you, they've got devious plans for your ass. And this is part of this new age that we're living in now. There's this whole economic meltdown, this whole depression or whatever you want to call it, which is only going to be made a hell of a lot worse by this panic over the swine flu, is just an excuse for employers to screw employees everywhere. I mean, who the hell knows whether anything they tell you is real or not? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They're the employers and then the screwees. We are the screwees. And let me say it again. After what they did to Ken Malden, nobody who works for this company is safe. Nobody. Just remember I told you that. April 28th, 2009.
Way down south, where the mugwumps go to hang from trees and play banjo. You got some who own a station on newfangled radio. Now as North Carolina goes, Raleigh's a big city, you know, and that's where the Beasleys had to go for Jolly Riley Joe. A new GM, he'll do what he can, shake your hand like a friend, then quickly walk away. Yes. They had Joe go to 560 with ratings in the toilet bowl to get those flaming sport homos in order and control. And then so Jolly Raleigh Joe, a buckular and in the know, he lets Mo go, and here's what blows, gives Geldy his own show. He'll make a big change and rearrange. It's worse or the same, he hasn't done a thing for what goes on the air at 2. Joe don't have a stinking clue about a format that essentially blows sport hole radio. Oy! The GM of 560, Jolly Raleigh Joe.
10:18 at 560 WQM. Let's take a look at that award-winning schedule. We got
rock solid.
The Big at 2, 4 to 7 Mad Dog at Shula's, 7 to 8 Dolphin tonight with Kimba Wooden Statue Bull Camper, and then 8 to 11 Poor DA. Poor DA. I bet you he never expected this. You think?
Don't imagine.
When he got on that bus in Kansas City. Here's the poll result from yesterday. 885 vote. Which of these people would make you vomit and hurl the fastest if you saw them shirtless in a Speedo? Should have had Joe Bell on here. Ooh. Rush Limbaugh, 307. Wins hands down your pantaloonies. The Humper did good, though, 132. Hank. Man Calder, 93. Jim DeFetus, 76. Oh, a monster in the news-gathering business. Larry King, 48. Barney Frank, 42. Michael Moore, 33. Don Imus, 30.
About 30, man.
H. Wayne Heisinger, 20. The Beast, 19. The Beast is right on Wayne's ass. William the Refrigerator Perry, he be ill in 18. Mo Howard David, 16. Al Hamhock Sunshine, 14. Ellen Degenerate, 14. Pasty Face. Dave Game, 12. Howard Sperm, 9. And Kimba Bocamper only had a small pair. That's the poll yesterday. What are we doing today? Taking a look at it?
Right now.
The most annoying habit other people can do in my presence is emit bad breath or BO. We have 377 vote. Good start. Emit bad breath or BO, 97. Like at Woodbine. Chew with their mouth open, 56, 55. Pick their nose, 46. That's what I voted. The BO bothers me like crazy, too, but I don't want to see somebody else digging for gold, you know? I can't stand it. I mean, I do a lot of picking my nose. Don't you?
A lot.
A lot.
Well, not, in front of people, though.
No, but not. I want to make sure nobody else is looking. The only place where it's bad is on an airplane.
Right.
And, in an airplane, your nose gets stuffed up because of the bad circulation of the air, the bad stuffy air. And you get a lot of snot. And I want to pick my nose on the airplane, but I'm so afraid that somebody's going to be looking,
I mean, I'll blow my nose, but if that doesn't do the trick, you got to go. Then you got to go to phase 2.
Oh, by the way, I forwarded to you the poll suggestion that Flea had sent to me. I want you to look at it.
I got it. You get your email first for some reason. Probably a candidate thing.
No, I just forwarded it to you. Or you got it originally.
Wow.
Yeah. Fart, 40. Somebody else farts in your presence? Gross. Especially loud. Although smelly is worse. Loud, I wouldn't mind if it didn't stink. Chew gum noisily, 24. Spit while talking, 22. Oh, yeah. Like Dr. Ron from the hockey games years ago. Oh. What do you think of Lindros? He would just shower me with spittle every time he came. And always talking right into your face. Why do people feel they have to do that? Do they think everybody is deaf?
There are people that they're close talkers.
I hate that. Spit on the ground, 21. Scratch their balls, 16. Like Clarence did that one day. He was conducting a search party. Whistle, 11. Hum, 11. Crack their knuckles, 9. George does that all the time on the air. Cough, 7. Burp, 6. Sneeze, 6. Well, how can you stop from sneezing if you're going to sneeze?
Right. You pinch your nose.
Hear that?
Yeah.
Pick their teeth, 3. Bite their nails, 3. Jingle their keys, 2. Scratch their butt, 1. 381. I don't encounter a lot of butt scratching. Do you?
No, record scratching.
Here's Steve in Jersey says, on your other people's annoying habits, can you please add loud cell phone conversation, a sure winner? You want to put it on there?
Sure.
Loud cell phone conversation. Oh, boy, here we go. The Supremes are at it again. The fascist Supreme Court. I'll print this out. Thanks to whoever sent this. Thanks a pile. And here's another one, a long one I'm going to print out. Isn't that good? We're off to a good start today.
Yep.
I haven't got to the one from the fake Tom Jicka yet. The fake Tom Jicka, by the way, is Defoe.
Really?
You want to know how I figured that out?
How do you know?
Here's the latest one. Tom Jicka, the fake one. Subject, Jeff DeForest spy report. Listen to 640 WFTL this morning. Heard Defoe. He mentioned the Big O and Mandich and told some old WQAM stories. It was actually pretty entertaining and funny. You may remember, but Defoe did 6 to 8 p.m. with Mandich on WIOD Sports Talk 610. This is either Defoe or Mr. Radio. In the mid-90s. WQAM needs him, exclamation point. Darf das haben, darf das wir Lochenkopf.
Wow, really?
We need him like a hole in the head. Already been there, done that. We've got enough recycled trash from the past already, okay? Mr. Radio, or whoever you are, or MIFO. Here's that thing. The Supreme Court is giving tentative approval to government regulation of even a single curse word on live television. The court, in a 5-4 decision today, is refusing to pass judgment on whether the FCC's fleeting expletives policy is in line with First Amendment guarantees of freedom of speech. The justices say a federal appeals court should weigh the constitutionality of the policy. I thought that was their job.
Yeah.
The decision throws out a ruling by the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in New York. The appeals court had found in favor of a Fox TV-led challenge to the policy and had returned the case to the FCC to let the agency provide a reasoned analysis for its tougher line on indecency. The commission appealed instead to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said, bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bop, just like that meeting with Joe Bell and Norma Kent last night. No more meetings, Norma. Don't look at him. Don't talk to him. Don't spit on him. Don't get near him. I don't think the most dangerous disease in the world right now is swine flu. I think it's Joe Bellitis. I think we got it. I couldn't sleep till 2:30 in the morning. I was so agitated after my conversation with Norma, which was hours earlier in the night.
Sorry about that.
Although I did watch Deadpool. Well, it wasn't just the part about you. I mean, that's disturbing to me. You've been on the show almost 20 years, do a fine job. You're there when we need you. And that's the problem. You're part of this show. You're not part of his. You're not one of his buddies. It's not about business. It's personal. He pretends it's about business and about saving them money and all that. It's got nothing to do with that. This is a man who wants everybody in the building to be one of his flunkies. And you ain't.
Oh, I know.
You didn't come from Charlotte. You didn't come from the west coast of Florida. You're not one of Joe's flunkies. And so, you're out, George. Danny Boy Kane 13 from Jersey says, I'm a loyal listener. I was wondering if you could help me out. I doubt it. I'm a professional tutor, a lifelong fan of the University of Miami and Rutgers. I think Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player ever. I think New York pizza is better than Walmart pizza. I'm a perfectly normal person. I am alive, yet everyone on the University of Miami message board believes I died from swine flu yesterday. They said it was reported on CNN and Fox News and The Onion and TMZ that I died, and I searched their sites extensively and know I did not die, but nobody believes me. I posted videos on YouTube proving I'm alive, and everyone thinks I'm an imposter. Neil, can you please read this and convince everyone I'm alive and well? I'm at my wit's end. Thank you for your help. Danny Boy Kane 13 from New Jersey. Do you have any idea what that means?
No. Hey, he's not dead.
Killed some good time, though. Killed about 2 minutes. Oh, by the way, I did the wrong spot in the last break. I'll swap it with the next hour. I did the wrong spot. I'm getting way ahead of myself. 10:27 at 560 QM.
You get a lot of big sports with Neil Rogers on Sports Hole Radio WQAM.
Is out to get us.
Absolutely.
Wants to wreck and destroy our show. Joyce is a fake attorney who don't know nothing about radio. Joyce won't let me. Joyce won't let me. Joyce won't let me. Play any parts. Joyce went to Jiffy Lube Law School. Uninformed, stupid hag, fraudulent turtle. 2AM is run by the Billy Foo.
Absolutely.
That obey their small arms, every word. Joyce won't let me. Joyce won't let me. Joyce won't let me.
I don't want to hear any more inside business talk about me, anybody else, but I got her on that show. I think I'm original Scarlet Alligator made about me. The only sort of keeps it in business and doesn't help me keep pointing that out. Maybe you like how I got my job doing something I don't know crap about.
Can't play no more parts. You know we can't play no parts.
10:33, 27 before 11 at 560 WQAM. Your destroy them as they come station. They just keep coming along, and we keep obliterating them from the human race. We got Joe Bellitis. Bad terminal dose, I think. So what are you doing to protect yourself from swine flu?
Nothing.
Me too.
I'm licking fewer people than I used to.
Yeah. And don't take too many deep breaths when you're out among people.
No, I've stopped breathing altogether.
That's a good idea. In fact, I think you just solved the QM problem, the Beasley problem. If they really want to save money, why not just fire everybody? We can have Joe and Clarence and Flea. Flea's already demonstrated he can do about a dozen jobs. We can just have the three of them run the joint and fire everybody else.
Sure.
I was going to say pay off people with contracts, but the day that these people pay anybody,
right,
never going to happen. See, that should have been the topic of this meeting between Norma and Joe Bell. Come up with a number, Joe. Write a check, and it'll go away. Because I'm sure that's what they want, in spite of all their denials and in spite of your resistance to that idea.
Oh, no. I think they want you to go away. They're just not going to pay you to go away.
Right. That's right. The fake Tom Jicka subject, Manny Munoz. Manny Munoz has been calling Joe and Josh, dying to get on WQAM. He's currently the producer on South Florida's First News, hosted by Jimmy Syphilis on 610 WIOD. No kidding. He's an ass clown, Manny Munoz. He used to crank call the goddess. Oh, Manny Munoz. What a loser.
Pete's in Lake Worth.
Peter.
Yeah, Randy.
Peter.
How you doing?
I'm all right, darling. How you?
You got that Manny fired, huh?
I got that Manny fired.
Why'd you get fired, you hypocritical?
Oh, it's you, man. Why does Manny crank call the station? What is his problem?
Because he's a lunatic. He's a good friend of yours, though, ain't he?
Yeah, we hang out all the time.
Isn't he one of yours?
I haven't seen him since we worked together. Yeah, he's one of mine.
Speaking of that, Dave Johnson will be calling in Thursday for our annual Kentucky Derby preview show. Speaking of one of yours, I'm thinking of that Mo line. And you came up with maybe your best line of all time immediately. You said, I didn't know Dave was Jewish. That was great.
Thank you.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of that, yesterday at the end of the show when I was choking to death.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I saved it because there were a lot of names. I don't know who put that thing together. Because there were a lot of names on that poll of people who are not Jewish. Paulie 07, whoever this Paulie guy is. Joan Crawford sure as hell wasn't Jewish. Charles Bronson is Polish and Ukrainian or something. He's not Jewish. There's a whole bunch of people on here who are not and never have been and never going to be Jewish. Paulie. God. Tony Randall's name was Sidney Rosenberg. Can you believe that?
I believe it.
I think it'd be fun to read the list again. George Burns, Nathan Birnbaum. I just love that name.
That's a good name.
It's a great Jew name, man, Birnbaum. I mean, Lipschitz is better. Who was Hal Lipschitz? Was that Hal Linden?
I think so.
I don't know. Just put it away, because otherwise I'll be tempted to read it again because they probably didn't get the benefit of it yesterday because I was sitting here choking to death,
right,
gagging on my Schweinhund flu. You people in the media are a bunch of crazy people, and every opportunity they get, they overdo it. They get people whipped up into a frenzy. Oh, but they're going to save so many lives, and Dr. Poopta there on CNN. They're even asking, is it safe to eat pork products? And the obvious answer is, yeah, unless you're Orthodox Jewish or Muslim. Isn't it amazing how the Muslims and the Jews have got so much in common?
Not amazing at all.
They don't eat pork.
They're both Semites, children of Abraham.
Circumscribed.
Right.
Nifty headgear.
Sure.
Brandon says, here's something for the poll. Why, today is the first day, and you know something? Today is only a week that I've had this crud. It seems like months.
Yeah.
But it was a week ago today that I said, I don't know what I'm doing here today, and I can barely speak. Mm-hmm. That was the day this thing really kicked in. Well, a week isn't all that long for a sinus infection or a nasty cold, or the regular swine flu. Oh, he's got the bird flu. He's got the avian flu. Remember that?
Yeah.
Everybody go out and stock up on Cipro. Everybody was buying Cipro and stockpiling it. And then about 2 weeks later, there was no more avian flu.
That's right.
There's Avion. You can buy it in bottles if you want expensive water. Brandon says, here's something for the poll. One thing drives me beyond nuts are sloppy eaters. I know it's asking too much for manners, but please don't be a complete slob at the table. You want to put that on there?
Doing it now.
Eat sloppy. I wonder if Jennifer Volpe eats sloppy.
Ooh.
Tony Cigaretto would know, but he's retired now, so. Just amazing what's going on. Everybody is vanishing. Everybody's either getting fired or taking early retirement or being forced out.
Mm-hmm.
Radio, TV, newspapers, magazines. Everybody's getting squeezed out. It's the big squeeze. It's the big screwing. So next time you see Joe Bell, look at him with a real look.
All right, I'll practice.
Don't let him feed you any crap, man. He hates you like poison.
I understand.
He doesn't give a crap about you, about your family, about your life, about your responsibilities. Mm-hmm. He couldn't care less about you. And he also doesn't like you on the air, too, now we find out. This is a first. Just another excuse.
I see.
Doesn't think you're an adequate replacement.
I see.
This came blurting out of his fat, ugly mouth last night at this meeting, or whenever the hell it took place. Michael says, Uncle Neil, please touch base on 2 topics. The Craigslist killer fiancé. What is there to say about that?
He's
First
a bad
of all,
man.
people that go searching for other people on Craigslist must be crazy people, because that's where all the crazy people wind up is on Craigslist. And the Air Force One decoy flying low over Manhattan. Yeah, what were they thinking about? What is there to say about those things? What is there to say?
I don't know.
Except maybe, yeah. Bubba's topic today, how the cheap channel people are trying to sabotage his advertisers, offering 4 competing stations per commercial. Wah, wah. Love always, Mike W. in Boca. But that was really the coup de grace when Joe Bell uses Bubba the Love Sponge endorsement of the show as evidence that the show is just as fine as GI wine.
Yeah, what else do you want?
What I'd like him to do is admit that Joyce and him have destroyed the show, that we have very little left, and that they continue trying to do it. They won't stop. They won't be satisfied until everybody on the radio station has a point. And we all wind up at the Mount Elliott Soup Kitchen.
O'Neill Station stands for nothing.
This is Eyewitness News. Did Alaska Governor Sarah Palin know her daughter Bristol was having sex?
Darn right. In the darkest of places, in the butt. I've been there with Joe the plumber and Joe Sixpack and polar bears.
We'll show you some racy clips. It's enormous. Poor.
I wonder if Sarah, being the slut, the horny slut that she is, I wonder if she ever wanted to get her hooks into Levi.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe she did.
I sure would. I'd like to get my Schmidt hooks into Levi. But ain't going to happen. Ain't never going to meet no Levi Johnston. Or his Johnson. Tracking the swine flu online. Here we go.
Zooms over there. Click back on the United States. It zooms over here. If you're traveling, if you're thinking about traveling, you want to know the latest reported cases, healthmap.org is helpful too. And
I don't see any in Greenland.
Via awesome.
Of course, there's no people there either. If you want to be safe, go to Greenland.
Sure.
That a good idea?
On my way.
420 just this morning. 428 votes on the poll. I'll tell you one thing, there's nobody else who they're going to bring in who's going to say just this morning.
I'm sure I'll write it out for them and put it on a Post-it note here.
Yeah, write it out for Flea. Now, so what's your take on that idiotic poll that he suggested? Where did that come from?
I don't know. I don't think it's a very smart poll to take.
No, of course not. You think I would do that poll? You think I would even read it?
No.
Read the question?
No.
No. This indicates to me that Flea, as good as he is in many areas, is not ready for prime time, and certainly not ready to carry your shoes. Or fill them. By the way, the character Adam Baldwin played, the crazy guy in that movie, Deadbolt, he had squeaky loafers.
Okay.
Oh, what are you people starting with the ice cream? I'm just recovering from this awful sinus infection and crud, the Schweinhund flu or whatever I got, and you're starting with ice cream?
That's the last thing you need.
This is Blackie, who I thought was my friend. Blackie's generally a pretty good emailer. Starting with the frickin' ice cream. Stop. Stop now, before it's too late. It's not bad enough we got Joe Bellitis we got to fight. Maybe we got Tinkerbell's palsy.
Okay.
You think that could be it? I think I had like a little bit of that at IOD once upon a time. Remember that? My lip was like drooping. Huh?
Yes.
Although I'll tell you, we never had the disease at IOD. We had the corporate disease from the vents. Oh.
Right.
What was that guy, that listener that came in with his company?
Barry?
Jackass.
No.
Barry McCockner.
Okay, that's it.
No, whatever it was. And they came in and they went through the vents in the building at IOD. They volunteered to do it for free, which is the only way we could get it done. And they took pictures of all the mung.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It looked like mountains of crap in the vents.
Yep.
Mountains of it.
It's amazing there was any airflow at all.
And we were sitting there breathing in this crap every day, and everybody was always coughing and sick and puking. And Bob Green's answer was, it's not financially expedient for us to do anything about it this time, Neil. It's not financially... All the people are like ready to pass out and croak, but it wasn't financially expedient.
Mm-hmm.
You people in management in this business, you're a bunch of grave robbers. If there is a hell, Joe Bell will be there for eternity. And I'd even be pleased to be there, too, just to see him burn, just to see the torture and suffering he's going to endure for screwing up so many people's lives. See, when they found him, what they were looking for was somebody with no conscience, none, zero. Somebody totally anti-human. And they found him. The answer, Joe, very simple, is no. 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 That's it. What part of no don't you understand? No. Go diddle with somebody else's show. Go fire some of the suits that are wandering around that building doing absolutely nothing, pulling down thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Hell of a lot more than George is making. Blackie says, good morning, Neil. I don't know if you have a Baskin-Robbins in Toronto. Yes. Or if you even like their ice cream. Yes, I do. I love it. There's a big Baskin-Robbins in the food court at the Eaton Center where you can do a lot of eating. Wednesday is 31-cent scoop night. I know you're trying to stay off the sweets, but this sounds like a good deal. Tell George to take the kids. Trying to help out in these tough economic times. And in closing, I'm sure Keith Magnuson is proud of his Blackhawks. Rest in peace. Yeah, the Blackhawks won 4-1 last night. They won a series. They beat the Calgary Flamers 4-2, 4 games to 2.
Flaming.
I have an email about the Blackhawks.
Yep.
Has to do with those young studs. I'll get to it. It's in my pile here. Just relax. We got 3 hours and 10 minutes to go. Who's counting? Let me say it again. 4 hours. Way too long. Way too long. Half an hour would be good. Don't you think?
Sure. It'd be a tight show.
If I were you, though, I wouldn't be making too many comments because I hear your time is limited.
That's what I hear.
I mean, what kind of devious, subhuman D-bag? Oh, look at this. Academy of Doctors of Audiology to sponsor Here For You to advance national hearing health during Better Hearing Month. Better get Joe Bell in touch with them because he don't hear the word no. Ain't going to happen, Joe. The word is no. Get out of this show. Quit diddling with this show, man. Quit diddling with everybody's life. You make us sick. You make us pine for Greg Reed. Can you ever believe that thought would even ever cross your mind?
No.
You make us pine for Mo. Mo is a real gentleman compared to Joe. I think we lost our mojo. And Manny Munoz. I think Manny is all these fakers.
It could be. It's been suggested. Certainly somebody from the inside or...
somebody nutty enough. And somebody has enough knowledge of the names and all that crap. And Defo this. It all circles around IOD.
Right.
Haven't heard from the unctuous Jimmy Syphilis today. I wonder if the Big O talked about the rift on the draft party over the weekend between the Big O and Jimmy Syphilitic.
I don't know.
Probably not allowed to discuss it. I don't know. You want to play the tape? Let's play the Big O 2 to 4 hour.
Excuse me, sorry.
Whoa, no, what's going on with you? You got this flu? Quarantine.
Yeah.
Now, Mike sends me an email, subject annoying. It's got nothing to do with our poll question. The poll question is about things that people do in your presence that you find repulsive and offensive. Farting, burping, those things. Mike says, I can't stand it when I hear the Limeys and the people from up north add an ER to words that end in A. For example, Florida, China, Tampa, Georgia. What's up with that? What's up with that is regional affectations is what's up with that, Mike. The Brits do it. The South Africans do it. Anybody with British crap in their blood. The Aussies do it. Trevor Denman does it all the time, the great race caller from Santa Anita. Adds an ER to words that end in A. People from Boston, New York, and the Brits and their kin are the ones who are the worst offenders. And what's the big deal with that? Who cares?
Right.
I'd rather hear somebody say Florida than let me ask you a question.
All right.
That bugs the hell out of me. I mean, not for the poll, but just in terms of people speaking.
Yeah, let me ask you about Florida. And Miami.
Miami Beach, Miami. That's what the late Swifty Schindler used to say, and I still don't never hear
old crackers say that.
I never heard him called Swifty Schindler until Ellie Brecker wrote that obituary. Deadbolt, Adam Baldwin, Justine Bateman. Anybody see it? I enjoyed it. They're probably going to say, that's one of the worst movies. Your taste in movies is as bad as your taste in music, Neil. And food. And everything else. And general managers. And one thing I'll say about Norma Kant. She has been totally, completely, 100%, I mean, nobody's perfect except her. 100% ineffective since Joe Bell came to town. Totally. Thoroughly. I think they laugh at him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're all going to laugh at you.
They laugh, I cry. Elisa says Cary Grant was Jewish, but his real name was Archibald Alexander Leach. I did a paper on him in college. Love you, Elisa. Thank you, Elisa. The thing about the Jewish names was pretty interesting, except for the Goyim that were on the list. Joan Crawford, Jewish. I mean, who put that together? What kind of maniac? Oh, here's the fake Tom Jick again. You know me, I'm not Mr. Radio or Defoe. As the brainstem would say, WQM needs some help. Joe Rose cannot carry a talk show by himself. He is weak at best. Really? Joe should rehire Defoe and Geldy and create the first team. Yeah, that's what we're looking for, is to add a lot more people on the payroll. Good timing, fake Tom Jicka. We'll also throw in Manny Munoz while you're at it. Oh, my God. The fake Tom Jicka. You know me. I'm sure I do. Some radio misfit.
Yeah.
Anybody that wants Defoe back on this station must need mental help. Maybe they have a fetish for corn. That corn sure grows tall on the Defoe show.
I heard it was special.
Yeah, it really is special. So you never saw Deadbolt, huh?
Not that I think of it, no.
I think you might enjoy it.
I'm going to give it a watch. I'm going to go steal it.
I mean, the end is predictable and, you know, all that, but it's... Kills an hour and a half, and it ain't so bad.
Oh, Neil!
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Are you ready, boys? Start gawking. Let's go. You keep asking, why should I see this movie? 'Cause the TV show wasn't very good. You don't like hillbillies, so you need a reason. I'll give you one, in fact, I'll give you two. And these boobs were made for watching, that's what we hope you do. 'Cause they're the only good things in the remake of The Dukes. If you don't like rednecks and car chases, you might think this movie is the worst. But we hope you will still buy a ticket, yeah, just to see what's popping out of my shirt. These boobs were made for watching, that's what we hope you do. 'Cause they're the only good things in the remake of The Dukes.
11:02 at 560 WQM. How can you be talking about anything beside the Schweinehund flu, right?
Right.
And Alien. And the Pope. Let's get those tapes on Friday. When people turn it on, they want to hear Neil's voice. That's what they want. They don't want George. They want to hear the tapes.
Right.
This man is as stubborn and intractable as a friggin' mule. I don't want to do the whole show on Joe Bell again. I remember those days when those ugly renegotiations for my deal were going on?
Yes.
And every day I would come in and scream and holler and carry on it. And what did it accomplish?
Nothing?
No, just a lot of agita, a lot of stress. Mark in Miami makes a good point. He says, Neil, not that the Florida legislature has been able to pass a budget with the session set to end on Friday, but that's because they have more important things to do, such as pass a bill offering Jesus license plates with the money benefiting faith-based teaching at schools. And our governor, the gay Charlie Crist, says that he would not veto the bill because it doesn't violate separation of church and state. He's even happy that it'll generate more money for the charities involved. Let me know if there's room for more people in Toronto, Mark in Miami. No more room. The inn is closed, Mark. Sorry. Sorry, Mark. Stick with your
gay
governor. Jesus license plates. Isn't that great?
Yep.
You gonna tack one on there?
Front and back.
When they bring you that new vehicle?
That's right.
I mean, you talk about a liar. You talk about insincere. You talk about backstabbing, front stabbing. You talk about somebody evil. I'd get him first before he gets you. Botulism. Put it in his wee Tina. Why don't you suggest going out to lunch with Joe?
Okay.
Yeah. And just happen to have a jar of botulism stuff. And when he's not looking, when he goes to take a big dump, which ought to give you plenty of time in his case, just smear a bunch of it on his bread. He'll think it's jam on it. Adam Oshmuck, who we already know is lifeless over there in Kitchener-Waterloo, sends me an email about the swine flu. It's in Russia, the Czech Republic, even in Livingston, Allegan counties in Michigan. It'll be in Toronto by next week. This is what people who have no lives do. They sit around and fret and get all panicky. Get a life, Adam. Get a search party together. Go out and find a life. Get a search party together and go find a penis. Even your own would be a good start. Mike says, last week you said that since the Joe... Here's another guy selling a song and dance about the guys across the street. The ones with the 1 and 2 shares all the time, mostly ones.
I wonder where that came from.
And some that begin with a...
Oh!
Huh?
I wonder where that came from.
Yeah. Mike says, last week you said that since the Joe Bell regime started, the ratings for most of QM's hosts have dropped. I have news for you. The reason your ratings have dropped has nothing to do with Joe Bell, has everything to do with 790 The Ticket. The hosts on 790 not only talk about sports, they talk about many other topics that men find interesting. That's why Sid the Kid had 1 shares in the morning, and Sedano's got 1 shares in the midday. Jim Manders is so old school that unless you're 60 or older, you're not going to find him interesting. Dan LeBastard and Stu Gotts, on the other hand, are extremely entertaining, and they discuss many topics that guys like to talk about, and they always have interesting guests. Mark my word, when you finally retire, Dan LeBastard will be the main man in South Florida radio, says Mike. You should live so long, Mike. And it's interesting, and he also lumps Stu Gotts in there like he belongs on the air. When Stu Gotts was on this station, what did I say? He doesn't belong on the air even to say hello. Goodbye, yes, but not hello. One Note Charlie, it's the Dan LeBastard Show. That's all they got. And this business about, their other hosts, they're not entertaining. They have no numbers. They got no audience. And just like they were doing when they first went on the air, and this obviously is from somebody over there, they keep trying to talk themselves into ratings. Either you've got them or you don't. It's like balls. Either you got them or you don't. And speaking of don't, Bob said, listen to the first 30 minutes of the Big O show yesterday. He didn't mention a word about what happened over the weekend. Sounds like he's been neutered, so to speak. Maybe he's not
rock solid
after all. What do you think?
I don't know.
Oishmoy Jew is back, Chronic. He says, we love you, George. I know we all rag on George as part of the show. I think it would be a huge mistake to Schmidt-Canham. He brings a dimension to the show that no one else can. Besides, if he goes, what will we bitch about? Is the backstation at the stabbing an everyday thing? No, it's not an everyday thing. It's an every second of every minute of every hour thing. Since this new regime, this evil regime came in and took over. Heath says, George is the next Mo Man. You won't have him to kick around no more. We wish you well, George, in all your future endeavors. Joe Bell is swine, and he's about to get you. How do you like that?
Wow.
Joe Bell is swine.
Maybe that's where that flu came from.
Yeah. Wonder if he's been to Mexico lately. Let's send him there and put him on a subway. Crowded subway. I think that's a capital idea. Georgianne says, what the F, Joe Bell? Besides you, Neil, George does a great job holding down the fort when you're sick or on vacation. He actually keeps the audience listening and participating, especially with the young listeners who are the future of your show. Personally, that roller derby crap sucks, but that's just me. Still better than any Schmitty tapes. Screw Joe Bell, always listening, Georgianne. Thank you, Georgianne.
Thank you, Georgianne.
She likes you. She likes you just fine. And the summer rating book has shown that year after year. I'm only on 2 days a week. George does most of the shows. The ratings, we still number one on the station. A lot of summers we're number one in the market.
Right. Most. More often than not.
The fact that we don't do any marketing, we have no promotion, and the fact that the signal is unlistenable, those two things have nothing to do with the fact that the numbers have gone down. It's the fact that 790 is doing so great with their gigantic one shares.
Right. Glad you understand that.
You guys keep it up. Keep talking a good game. Keep trying to convince yourselves. And then when you got paid religion there on 790, when Lincoln Financial finally gives up the ghost, and you got paid religion on there, oh, gee, what happened? We were doing so good, kicking some serious ass. Sid the Kid. He was perfect for them. Big mouth, talk a big game, and produce nothing. And how's that new morning show coming? I bet you Steve White was on again this morning, because I checked their website. Stay tuned for the new exciting morning show. I double dog dare them to put Stu Gatz on alone in the morning. The bastard don't need him. Put the Stu Gatz show in the morning. Oh, you like that?
Sounds great.
Stu Gatz and Defoe. And Josh Friedman. And coming at ya, jerks.
Wow.
And we'll even throw in him.
That's a dream team you're talking about.
The Scream team. Oh, no, we need Jimmy Syphilis for that. Can you believe he said he's a screamer or something like that? He said he knows how to scream.
Yeah. I still got that if you want to hear it again.
No. Let's not play that crap again. I thought there was going to be something really vaudeville there, something really, exciting.
We were hoping.
It was coma-inducing. And if that's enough to get the sports nerds all whipped up out there, although I guess compared to the rest of the draft, it must have been pretty damn scintillating.
I reckon.
If you've been injured and retained an attorney, don't wait for your case to settle to get the money you need. Fast Funds will advance cash for your personal injury case so that you can afford to wait while your attorney takes the time to recover the maximum possible amount for your case. Don't wait for the cash that you owe. They pay now and never charge interest. And if there's no recovery in your case, you owe them nothing. Call them to get your money now, 305-598-6430, or apply online at fastfundsforyou.com. If you've been injured and retained an attorney, only one call pays you now. Fast Funds advances money for your personal injury, and they never, ever charge interest. When you suffer an injury, the expenses can add up really fast, so don't wait for the money you're owed. Fast Funds advances cash for your case now, and like I said, they never charge you interest. 305-598-6430. That's 305-598-6430 for Fast Funds.
Oh, Neil! You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Neil? God?
Fans, you don't like their demands. If they have some request, you'll just say no. And then tell Norma Kent to tell the management you want nobody messing with your show. You're on from 10 till 2, and when your shift is through, tell George he can relax and smoke some weed. And then go tell Joe Bell that he can go to hell.
Yes.
He even almost makes you miss Gregory.
Absolutely.
But don't play a fart, the sound of a fart. I don't think Joyce would understand. 'Cause if you play a fart, the sound of a fart, you'll be in trouble with the Beasley clan.
I just got back in my chair just in the nicotine with my Hall's Mentholyptus.
Excellent.
No, they're not excellent. They're really not. These are not.
No,
very good.
excellent job getting back in your chair.
Oh, just in the nicotine, man. So Paul is back, who sent me the Jewish names list.
Yes.
He says, just copied and pasted a list I found. I didn't verify all the names, but now you made me go back and look at a couple that some other people questioned as well. Apparently, Eddie Albert and his ancestors were Christians. His ancestors. You ready for that?
Okay.
I could not find anywhere else that confirmed Joan Crawford was a Jew, so I'll bow to your better knowledge. I don't have any knowledge of it. It just seems...
Unlikely?
Yeah. Charles Bronson was Jewish. I found that in several places on Google, he says. Well, somebody sent me an email at the end of the show yesterday, adamant that Charles Bronson was not. So whatever he is, he is.
Right.
Like Michael said to, what's his name?
You are what you
Vincent.
are.
You are what you are. Ralph Lauren's real name is Ralph Lipschitz. Levi Strauss and Calvin Klein were also Jewish. Now, there's a few Jews still left. There's still a few of us running around. Although if Joe Bell has his way, now that's interesting. Maybe Joe thinks that since you're speaking Yiddish now,
yeah,
that there's a little Jew in you.
That could be.
Fat Man After Dark. Boy, I haven't heard from him in a long time. Remember him?
Right.
I missed the first hour of the show. What's up with George? Has he been let go? Well, he's right here. You still here?
Amazingly, yeah.
That would be a terrible mistake, but not unexpected for these clowns to make such a short-sighted, ridiculous move. Well, they're trying. Joe Bell is trying very hard. He wants George out. Now. Immediately, if not sooner.
Right.
Hughes giving me a shot. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting different results. If your lawyer is incompetent, hire another one, or get a real agent, or both. You're a nationally known radio personality. You have the money. You have a contract. What's the problem? If your lawyer is useless and can't get the job done, who's responsible? Not him. Remember, no one cares as much about you as you. Have a nice day. Hugh.
Rhymes with you.
You. Hugh, you. You.
You fairy.
Yeah. Here's a dead person. Frankie Manning dies at 94. Helped popularize the Lindy Hop.
Who?
The Lindy Hop. A little before your time, probably.
I'll say.
Frankie Manning was a star attraction of Harlem's Savoy Ballroom and brought to swing dance, or is that swine dance? Swing dance, a flair for theatrical, helped catapult the Lindy Hop from ballrooms to stage and screen. Frankie Musclehead Manning, a Harlem dancer and Tony Award choreographer, widely celebrated as one of the pioneers of Lindy Hop, a breathlessly acrobatic swing dance style of the 30s and 40s, died April 27, that sounds like yesterday to me, at New York City's Lenox Hospital of pneumonia. He was 94. He was only 94 and he got pneumonia and then he died. The effortlessly nimble Manning was a star attraction of Harlem's Savoy Ballroom and brought to swing dance a flair for the theatrical that helped catapult the Lindy Hop from ballrooms to stage and screen, said Cynthia Millman, who co-wrote Manning's self-titled 2007 memoir. Frankie Musclehead Manning. Never heard of him. Did you?
No.
What's that?
That's some swing music just for the occasion. I'm going to do the Lindy Hop here.
Yeah, hop on it. That's what Joe Bell said. Hop on it. Jump on Z.
That enough?
Yeah. Dana, who's really getting on my nerves, chronic. Dana says, yesterday we're discussing awful sportscasters calling games. One for a poll should include Gene Deckerhoff, voice of the Tampa Bay Yucks. He is, in my humble opinion, by far the worst. Absolutely incorrect. Wrong. Gene Deckerhoff, I haven't heard him in years, but he used to be great. He did all the FSU sports on the radio, and he did the Bucks. He's done it for years. I guarantee you, Gene Deckerhoff is 80,000 times better than Jimmy Syphilitic. I'll bet you bottom dollar right now. Gene Deckerhoff, my ass. This is a guy who hates the Bucks, evidently, so therefore Gene Deckerhoff must suck. I don't know. I don't know what your problem is, Danny. Your taste is in your tuchus. James says, oh, here we go. Love the show. Unfortunately, I don't get to listen much anymore since I work during the day. But a friend told me you mentioned the Chicago Blackhawks last week. Something about you wanted to be in the locker room after a game. Oh, yeah. Well, my girlfriend used to live in Chicago. She's very good friends with some of the Hawks. She talks a lot with Patrick Sharp. She knows Kane and Taves fairly well, too. So which of the boys are your favorites? Kane. And I don't mean Steve. I'm sure she can get you an autographed picture or something. Or maybe she can ask them to set up a webcam in the locker room so you can watch post-game highlights. Just a guy trying to say thank you for all the years of entertainment and laughs you've given me. Let's hope they finish off the Flames tonight in Calgary, too. Go Hawks. And they did. 4-1. Bye-bye, Flames. That's a franchise I just can't warm up to, so to speak. The Calgary Flames. You know, they used to be the Atlanta Flames.
Yeah.
You know who broadcast their games when they were the Atlanta Flames? Old Jiggs McDonald. Old hack. He was in the car with Rimmer one day when he was doing the Panther games, when he first came to town. And Rimmer, of course, had my show blasted on there and was kissing up to me by way of Jiggs. And somebody coincidentally called and asked me what I thought about Jiggs McDonald coming to do the Panther games. And I said, he's an old hack.
Yeah. Like
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the look on Rimmer's puss?
No.
Oh, my good friend Neil, he's great. He's a hockey maven, blah, 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 blah. And there's old Jiggs. Old hack, Jiggs. Back to the Islanders, man, 100 years ago. See, this is the trap that we get into in this business, is that, you know, we make a certain amount of money, and we survive a certain amount of time, and then it's time to retire. But a lot of us can't afford to retire. Like Ricky Tiki Shaw. I never had a response after he sent me that thing about the phone calls.
Yeah.
Now, you know, Boz, Florida, this guy sends me all the obituaries, but Boz, you're a great guy, good emailer. I don't need obituaries about horses, okay?
Wow.
Here's one from Baron Fitz. Uncle Neil, when this whole thing started with Joe Bell wanting to get rid of George, I was absolutely sure it was shtick. I thought nobody could be that stupid. I mean, what kind of fat, retarded douche bucket would even mess with the highest-rated show on a station? You and George are a tropical island in the middle of a sea of radio crap. Go away, Joe Bell, says Baron Fitz. Go away, Joe Bell. Don't you think that's a great idea? No, you don't have to comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
I don't think anybody else is either. That's because they got that George Sedano on across the street, man, or whoever they got on. I don't know. They got some other nerd on till noon. Some turd. Fake Larry King says, I can't understand why Mad Dog gets no ratings. He's one-of-a-kind talent. It's a great show. To me, the problem is the mornings. Joe Rose is mind-numbing. The big O isn't Howard Stern, but at least he has the common fan passion that's missing on some of the other shows. The young Cuban wire in La Bastard for obvious reasons. I think he means right in La Bastard. I don't know what he's talking about. The young Cubans? Is it an ethnic thing with La Bastard?
I don't know.
Remember, he said, we won the World Series, not the Marlins.
That's right.
We. Cubans won the World Series. That was a long time ago. And he got away with it. I was the only one who even commented on that. It was one of the most egregious things ever written in the horrible pages of the Miami Herald, and nobody called him on it. Kenny Rogers says, whatever happened to Kenny Rogers? I thought he was coming to our station. Is he on the weekend or the one that they canned across the street? I thought he was on the shuttle. Wasn't he?
I guess. No, I guess that was just a rumor.
He says, hi, Neil and George. You guys are gangster. When my throat was really bad last year, I found those Ricola honey cough drops with that echinacea stuff, and that effing crap worked wonders. Try some. I've done it. Don't work. Do it.
Just do it.
Have you guys watched the Obama Deception movie? A friend of mine just told me about it. I know you don't like links, but when you guys get a second, on your own time, please go to YouTube and type in the Obama Deception and prepare to have your minds blow away. This film exposes the Bilderberg Group and the possibility of a centralized bank. Furthermore, it educates us on the realities behind the Kennedy assassination, the Social Security scandal, and a bunch of other interesting topics. Sounds like Kenny Rogers is a right-wing lunatic.
Maybe.
Doesn't that go with the territory? Sports nerds, right-wing lunatics?
So I've heard.
It wasn't a mistake. It was a setup, he said. The Kenny Rogers. Yeah, it was a setup. Life is a setup. And, of course, Joe Bell, he's just waiting to set you up. He's probably going to have somebody with like 4 pounds of weed under their arms waiting by your car one day when you go out if you ever have a car.
Okay.
Just keep that in mind, okay?
Okay.
The fat man is out to get your ass.
Oh, Neil!
I'm getting a little tired of that crap, I can tell you right now.
I need a black magic marker. You got a black magic marker. With a black magic marker, I write letters big enough to read. I need a black magic marker. My eyes are so bad I can't see. Keep the cap on it, baby. The cap keeps it from fading. Don't lose the cap on it, baby. It keeps the moisture in the ink. I like it fresh so that maybe I can huff the potent marker steam.
Oh, and that's it. Trick ending. I hate that, don't you?
Well, at least it ends with an oomph as opposed to just ending. Like some of the
Well, let's
other
hear
bits.
that again.
Gonna back it up?
I'm backing it up.
I like it fresh so that maybe I can huff the potent marker steam.
Oh! What was that?
Huh?
What was that sound I just heard?
I didn't hear anything. I heard Henry Barrow.
Boz Florida says Gene still does FSU games, and I agree he's good. He's damn good, Gene Deckerhoff. I mean, here's a market where we got Joe Zagacki doing hurricane sports, and we got Jimmy Syphilitic doing the Dolphins, and we got Rich Waltz pretending to do the Marlins, and we got Red Deer Randy silly-ass Moeller doing the Panther games, and they're knocking Gene Deckerhoff? Boy, something's wrong with this picture. Something really, really wrong. So what do you think about that Schweinhund flu, huh?
What about it?
Lisette says, hey, Neil, I'm so glad you're sounding better today. I know how you feel as I just got over a cold. I know how hard it is to get completely rid of it. Hear that? They're coming for me.
Wow. Sounds like
Anyways, glad you're feeling better. Tell Jolly Joe to bug off because you and George are great. Yeah, bug off, Jolly Joe. That's going to do a lot of good. I love your show when you guys get me through my workday. Also, George did a good job while you were out of town. Keep up the great work and don't let Joe get you down, says Lisette. Thanks, Lisette.
Yeah.
Kevin says, hey, Neil, Mandich can take solace in this. Whenever LeBastard takes a day off and Stu Gatz alone does the show, the dial immediately is turned to 560 in Mandich. Between the Marlins preempting Dan's show half the week and Stu Gatz when he tries to do a show by himself, these factors should help Mandich in future trends during the afternoon. How is it possible that anyone lets Stu Gatz on the air when people are awake? Excellent point. LeBastard is funny as a talent, but he'll be fighting a losing battle against Stu and the Marlins. Love you, Neil. George stays, period, says Kevin. You stay, period.
Oh, well, thank you.
Gosh dang it. Yeah, Charlie Crist, your limp wrist governor, says, don't like the Jesus plate, don't buy it.
Oh, well then.
Earlier in the day, Weston Democratic Senator Nan Rich said she would urge Governor Charlie Crist to veto proposed license plates that depicted Jesus and that depicted a cross in front of a stained glass window. Asked about whether he'd veto the legislation, Crist said, no way. I would not veto those. No, I would not, Crist said. So you don't have a problem with Jesus on a license plate? Crist, no, I don't know. What about separation of church and state? Crist, if they don't want one, they don't have to buy one. Is that state endorsement of religion? I think, what does it say? In God we trust in every single piece of monetary coins and paper we have. I think it's fine, says your gay governor, Charlie Crist. Hypocrite, phony, faker, sucking up to his Republican base, you know?
Yep.
His naive Republican base who are too foolish to realize that he's a screamer.
Gay.
Flamer.
Flaming.
Oh, but he got married, you know, yeah, that proves it to me. So did Tony Perkins. So did David Cassidy. So did Elton John get married. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Here's the poll result. Let me print it out. I don't want to read it off of this thing. Can I do that?
Please.
I'm making a nice comeback, I'll tell you that.
Sound queer as a bell.
I do?
You fairy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm printing out the poll result. It's mighty important crap. I wish I would have been at that meeting yesterday. I wonder if they went to lunch. I would have brought my botulism with me.
Looks like jelly.
For Joe and Norma. 488 votes on the poll. The most annoying habit other people can do in my presence is emit bad breath or BO. Ugh, 116. Smelly old Chinaman. Chew with their mouth open, 58. Pick their nose, 56. Fart, 49. Have a loud cell phone conversation, 34. Spit on the ground, 28. Spit while talking, 28. Chew gum noisily, 26. Scratch their balls, 16. Whistle, 13. Hum, 12. Crack their knuckles, 10.
Ooh, wow, nice.
Sneeze, 8. Cough, 8. Pick their teeth, 6. Scratch their butt, 5. Burp, 5. Bite their nails, 4. Eat sloppy, 3. Jingle their keys, 3. Isn't that kind of like a signal when guys jingle their keys?
Is it?
Like when they wear the red hanky in the left back pocket, or I don't know how that goes.
Tap their foot?
Oh, it's to tap their foot in the stall.
Yay.
Wow. Just yell out.
You fairy.
And then run like a son of a bitch. Could be Leary. There's the president.
And part of what makes the FBI so unique is its ability to adapt.
Oh, speaking of gay, how about gay Edgar Hoover? How could we leave him out of the mix? Don't you love that expression? That's another stupid. So and so is. They use that in golf a lot when they're reading the leaderboard. You know.
No, I don't know.
And so is in the mix. Well, what the hell does that mean? I mean, I know what they are trying to say, but what else?
Yeah.
Oh. So many stupid expressions in so little time. And now we get the Schweinehund flu when the economy is falling apart and they're telling everybody stay home and don't fly and no travel and oh my God. I'm going to start hoarding nickels and pennies and dimes.
All right.
In my mattress.
Oh, ought to be comfy.
No, under the mattress, you know. The part between the mattress and the box spring, whatever they call it.
Under the mattress.
Yeah. Well, you sure slowed down on these emails. I'll tell you that, Neil at NeilRogers.com. See that? I might actually have a relapse.
Oh, Neil.
Neil Rogers.
Hey, y'all. It's Britney Spears with another blog update. Well, I'm here with my new boyfriend. He's a backup dancer on my tour.
What up?
And we're about to watch an important speech from President Obama. Turn on the TV, babe.
Americans have much to be proud of. Our armed forces are stronger than ever. The economy is getting back on track. And Britney Spears is hanging up. Yes, it is.
Did I hear what I think I heard? The economy's back on track? That's awesome! Señorita Britney? Oh, hi, Consuela. She's my housekeeper, y'all. Sí, señorita Britney. Yo tengo un mensaje más importante. English, please, Consuela. Oh, lo siento. Your is hanging out. Gracias. Dang! I didn't even know she spoke English.
Babe, I think she said your is hanging out.
OMG, so embarrassing. Let me stuff this back in. Okay, that's it for today's blog. TTYL, y'all.
Oh, yeah, y'all. I'm just printing something out. Mark in West Palm says, fire George Ponderous. This is all flaming a-hole Joe Bell could come up with. Why doesn't somebody fire his ass? Glad you're sounding better, Neil, and George delivers a top-notch product as always. Says your friend Mark in West Palm. How do you like that?
Thanks, Mark. I didn't even know I had one.
Attaboy, Mark. The fake Superman says, I have 2 movie suggestions for both you and George, and we've both seen both of them. Bill Maher's Religulous and Zeitgeist, which has been on our website for months and months and months.
Right.
Both movies debunk religion, and Zeitgeist gets into the many secrets of the government. For George, there's a torrent for Zeitgeist on their website. But we got it on our website.
We got it. Got the DVD.
Says the fake Superman. Okay, thanks, faker. Only 16 till noon? My God. Just because my voice came back don't mean I'm ready to do 4 hours. Sure. Byron, Peg, and Mustard the Wonder Dog. Remember them from Meridian, Idaho?
Yes.
How could you forget? Oh, and I got to play a thing, too. One moment, please. Neil, today is my birthday, the big 55. I've been listening for over half my life. Thanks for the laughs. Keep it coming. I'm starting to catch up with you, Neil. It's not bad becoming an old man. Yes, it is. That's my advice to all you people. Don't ever get old. Joe Bella's an ass clown. George must stay. You guys make a great team. The media's going crazy about this swine flu. Around 35,000 people each year with the flu. When it starts getting like 1918 flu, we should start worrying. And, of course, back in 1918, they didn't have antibiotics and stuff, you know.
Right.
Mass media. All of these things.
Mass hysteria.
Yeah, mass hysteria. That's what we need. Everybody panic. When in question or in doubt, run in circles, scream and shout. Dear Neil, I don't know what that guy's talking about. Gene Deckerhoff is great compared to the coma-inducing Joe Zagacki. Honestly, how long is he going to ride the sympathy train for that horrible plane accident where he was the only survivor? That doesn't mean he's fit to broadcast UM sports on the radio. UM should spend some bucks and hire a real broadcaster. Well, that's what I'd say about Gene Deckerhoff. He ain't no Joe Zagacki, thank God. And you would say the same if you knew who Gene Deckerhoff was.
Oop.
Stephen Kendall says, my ex-wife was from former East Germany and was well-versed in the herb lore of Europe. When I got cold, she prescribed tea made of linden leaves, thyme, spitzwegerich, and coltsfoot. Linden and thyme are easy to get. Thyme is my favorite and will really clean out your sinuses and get rid of any nasty cough. It's highly antiseptic. Thymol is an active ingredient in Listerine and kicks butt. Well, how do you like that? Thanks, Stephen Kendall.
All right.
I got a big jug of Listerine in my bathroom.
Do you know?
You think I ought to be gargling with it a little bit?
A little bit. Why not? Can't hurt.
I don't like gargling.
It's not what I heard.
I'm telling you, it makes you nauseous. You don't get nauseous gargling?
If you do it wrong.
Oh, here's an article, The Gentle Art of Changing Jewish Names, and it goes on. It's about 8 billion words long.
Wow. Is there a system?
Oh, that's right up my alley, Sally. Although I don't want to be reading a lot of long, ponderous stuff today. Bronson was a Lithuanian. It says a Lithuanian, Lipka Tatar descendant, which would make him a Sunni Muslim. He was born in a Pennsylvania coal town. Youngest of 15 children, they were dirt poor. Well, all kinds of conflicting stories about Charles Bronson, you know what? He was Jewish, he was Goyish. Oh, Dana. Dana comes back with his anti-Gene Deckerhoff crap. It's really, it's almost funny. It would be funny if it weren't so sad.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see the defense of his idiotic comment. Oh, this gentle art of changing Jewish names, this goes on for like 400 pages.
Great.
Wow. Let's go out and buy some more fax paper, baby. It's a good thing I got a case.
Case of what?
Flu.
Oh.
Schweinhund flu. Dana says the reason I don't care for Gene Deckerhoff is because he makes a 3-yard gain sound like an 80-yard run for a score. Sorry to be chronic. I'll just listen and leave you and the soon-departing George alone. Why not just off Joe Bell, and George, who is excellent, can stick around. Love the show nevertheless, Dana. Oh. Well, what is there to say?
Nothing.
To each his own. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. You just happen to be bad wrong on Gene Deckerhoff, but that's the way it goes. This is the business we have chosen. Emit bad breath or BO 122. That seems to be winning hands down your pants. Chew with their mouth open, 59. Pick their nose, 57. Fart, 51. 52. In fact, if we get the fart sounds back, we could change the logo of the station. Fart 56. I like it.
All right.
Fart 56. Ooh.
What was that?
I don't know. Oh, this is from Oi Shmoy Jew. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages long.
Wow.
Oh. I'll read a little bit of it, okay?
Okay.
And see if it's scintillating enough for us to take it all the way through. You think?
Let's take it for a test drive.
The Medansky brothers, Max, Solomon, Benjamin, and Jacob, have written that their names henceforth will be May. It's the good old Anglo-Saxon name, but the Medanskys are of Asiatic origin. Elmo Lincoln, a movie actor, comes into an L.A. court on the motion of his wife, and it's discovered that he is only Otto Linkhilt. A large department store owner was born with the name Levy. He now is known as Litton. It's quite possible he didn't like Levy as a name, but why did he change it for another Jewish name? Or perhaps it was the Jewishness of Levy that displeased him, like Lipschitz, Birnbaum, and Goldberg. A popular tennis star recently brought suit against his wife, who married him after allowing him to believe she was of Spanish origin. I understood from her misleading stage name that she was Spanish when I married her. Later I found out she was Jewish and her real name was Bergenstein. I wonder if she was kin to Stan Bergstein. One of the big... This goes on and on and on. Well, I'll just read a little bit, just till the show's over. One of the biggest and best-known stores in the U.S. goes under an honored Christian name, though every one of the owners is Jewish. The public still carries a mental picture of the good old merchant who established the store, which picture would speedily change if the public could get a glimpse of the real owners. Take the name Belmont, for example, and trace its history. Prior to the 19th century, the Jewish residents in Germany didn't use family names. It was Joseph, the son of Jacob, Isaac ben Abraham, the son being designated the son of his father. But in the Napoleonic era, especially following upon the assembly of the great Sanhedrin under Napoleon's command, caused a distinct change in Jewish customs in Europe. In 1808, Napoleon sent out a decree commanding all Jews to adopt family names. In Austria, a list of surnames was assigned to the Jews, and if a Jew was unable to choose, the state chose for him. The names were devised from precious stones as Rubenstein, precious metals such as Goldstein, Silberberg, plants, trees, and animals such as Mandelbaum, Lilienthal, Ox, Wolf, and Low. The German Jews created surnames by the simple method of affixing the syllable son to the father's name, thus making Jacobson, Isaacson, while others adopted the names of localities in which they lived. The Jewish resident in Berlin becoming Berliner, and the Jew resident in Oppenheim becoming Oppenheimer.
Wow.
Are you finding this mildly interesting?
I'm actually finding it fascinating.
Are you?
Yep. I love this
well,
kind
you
of
read
stuff.
It. Okay. Oh, God. I may have most of my voice back, but this is going to be the end of it. I think Oishmoy Jew, it's a plot. It's a plots. Now, in the region of Schoenberg, in the German Rhine country, a settlement of Jews had lived for several generations. When the order to adopt surnames went forth, Isaac Simon, head of the settlement, chose the name of Schoenberg. It signifies in German, beautiful hill. It is very easily Frenchified into Belmont, which also means beautiful hill or mountain. A Columbia University professor once tried to make it appear that Belmonts originated in the Belmontes family of Portugal, but found it impossible to harmonize this theory with the Schoenberg facts. It is noteworthy that a Belmont became American agent of the Rothschilds, and that the name of Rothschild is derived from the red shield on a house in the Jewish quarter of Frankfurt on the Main.
Yeah, I heard that story.
Why the original family name, what the original family name is, has never been divulged. The Jewish habit of changing names is responsible for the immense camouflage that has concealed the true character of Russian events. When Leon Bronstein became Leo Trotsky, and when the Jewish Apfelbaum becomes the Russian Zinoviev, and when the Jewish Cohen becomes the Russian Volodarsky, and so on down through the list of controllers of Russia, Goldman becomes Izgoyev, and Friedman becomes Vladimirov, it's difficult for people who think that names do not lie to see just what's transpiring. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Indeed, there is any amount of evidence that in numberless cases this change of names, or adopting of cover names as the Jewish description is for purposes of concealment. There is an immense difference in the state of mind in which a customer enters the store of Isidore Levy and the state of mind in which he enters the store of Alex May. And what would be his feeling to learn that Isidore Levy painted up the name of painted up the name? What does that mean? Made up the name of Alex May with that state of mind in view. When Rosenbluth and Schlesinger becomes the American Mercantile Company, there's justification for the feeling that the name American is being used to conceal the Jewish character of the firm. The tendency for Jews to change their names dates back very far. There was and there is a superstition that to give a sick person another name is to change his luck and save him from the misfortune destined upon his old name. There was also the biblical example of a change of nature being followed by a change of name, as when Abram became Abraham and Jacob became Israel. There's nothing in here about when Yudalevich became Solomon.
Well, you could tell us that story yourself.
Yeah. My grandparents. They didn't want to be so conspicuously Jewish when they came from Russia. So when they came from the old country, they changed their name from Yudalevich to Solomon. A Polish Jew named Zuckermandel, emigrating to Hungary, would be anxious to show that he had shuffled off the Polish allegiance which his name proclaimed, and the only way he could do this would be to change his name, which would likely become Zukor, a perfectly good Hungarian name. Originally, the Zukors were not Jews. Now, the usual guess would be that they are. In the U.S., it would be almost a certainty. Such a change as Mr. Zuckermandel would make, however, would not be for the purpose of concealing the fact he was a Jew, but only to conceal the fact that he was a foreign Jew. Oh, this just... I don't know about you, but it was pretty interesting, the first 5 million words.
Yeah.
It goes on and on and on and on until I stop reading.
This is Brady Quinn. Whenever I shave my balls, I listen to the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
Real American a-holes. Real American a-holes. We salute you, Mr. Karaoke Host at the Neighborhood Bar Guy.
Mr. Karaoke Host at the Neighborhood Bar Guy.
You lug your crap around night after night, just so some drunken slob can butcher Piano Man.
It's 5 o'clock.
Your equipment is state-of-the-art. Your karaoke collection is the best. But you are 42 years old, and you still live with Mother.
Ellie, bring me my tea.
You fancy yourself as an entertainer, but does it really take any talent to introduce Sue and Josh singing Margaritaville?
Where's the salt? Where's the salt now?
Sure. Your cushy gig means you meet a lot of chicks, but they all smell like hot wings and look like John Madden.
Ow!
So we salute you, Mr. Karaoke Host at the Neighborhood Bar Guy, your MySpace page, your 9-volt batteries, and your Post-it notes. You are a real American a-hole.
12:01 at 560 WQAM. Happy Tuesday to you. We got the big O.
Rock solid.
At 2 o'clock. Now, somebody sends me a copy of this. I think I read it once before. Posted February 22nd, 2009. Letter to the editor, the Hurricane Reader, the UM newspaper, the Hurricane.
Yes.
At any rate, it says most people can agree that Hurricane athletics is second to none. I don't agree with that, but nevertheless, the list reads like a resume. 5 national football championships, 4 baseball national championships, and countless awards in other sports. However, there's one award UM will never hold for a long time, and that's the award for college broadcasters. In fact, I'm more than willing to say that UM has the worst broadcasters among all Division I schools. Therefore, I believe Joe Zagacki should be in the unemployment line. Zagacki is affectionately known to his few, and I do use the word few loosely, fans, as Joe, and is the main play-by-play voice for football, basketball, and the occasional baseball game. Listening to Zagacki call a game is like nails against the blackboard. There are times when I've avoided listening to Hurricane games on radio because of Zagacki. His voice is so monotone, and when he tries to yell, he sounds like a person who needs to use a mechanical larynx because he lost his original one due to smoking. Zagacki's voice is so bad it's gotten him major notoriety from such radio personalities as Dan LeBastard and WQM veteran Neil Rogers. There's no requirement of being friendly in this line of work, and Zagacki makes sure that he doesn't fit the bill. As one former coworker of Zagacki told me, Joe is a cold person because he's constantly looking over his shoulder, thinking somebody will take his job. Zagacki's unprofessional conduct also got him into trouble when he confronted WVUM announcers after a baseball game last May. You made a mistake. I wonder what that was about.
I don't know.
My question is, whose ass is Zagacki kissing to keep his job as the voice of one of the proudest universities in the country? I was surprised to not find one person who said they enjoyed listening to a Zagacki-led broadcast, someone even further saying they would rather listen to WVUM instead of Zagacki. There are several candidates out there who I think would be more than qualified to be the new voice of the Hurricanes. Dave Lamont, Jeremy Mark. I already read this. Jeremy Marks Peltz, who's the guy across the street, I guess. In the meantime, Zagacki should probably line up for a job at Don Bailey Carpet with that other stooge who thinks he's an analyst. Wow. Pretty scathing from Paul Thompson.
About 30, man.
Joe Zagacki sucks, okay?
Well, we haven't heard
About 30, man.
in a while, so, you can never play it too much. Almost all companies have a stated policy, says this email, that if you work for them, you're not allowed to work for a direct competitor after work on a part-time basis. Most radio and TV personalities only work for one station or channel. I have never seen a radio TV commentator work at 2 stations. WQAM and Jimmy Syphilis seem to be the exception. Jimmy Syphilis is a broadcaster of the Dolphins games on WQAM with Joe Rose and Mandich. Then Jimmy Syphilis during the weekdays has a show on 610 in morning drive hours, which is prime time for WQAM's audience of males 25 to 54, in direct competition with his partner for the Dolphins game, Joe Rose. How does Jimmy Syphilis get away with it? What was it in his contract? Did the Dolphins want Syphilis as their analyst and radio broadcaster of their games, or is it total incompetence on the part of WQAM management? What does Joe Bell do? Instead of trying to get rid of Syphilis, who's taking market share and thousands of dollars in advertising revenue from WQAM and Morning Drive, Joe Bell is trying to fire George, who probably makes less than $50,000 a year. You're always talking in your show about how evil Joe Bell is. Quite frankly, I thought you were exaggerating to make your show exciting. Believe me, we don't need this kind of excitement. But with Joe Bell trying to fire George, I have to believe that you're right. Joe Bell is an evil person. I enjoy your show very much. La Tango, the same word as yesterday, which I won't read again.
Pellejo.
Yeah, in La Punta. So what's the punta?
Punta Gorda.
What's the point? We're here. We show up. That's all we can do. Oh, my God. Neil, look at the bottom of the page on the previous email on Jewish names. The date, 1921, from Dearborn, Michigan. Henry Ford's hometown.
Huh?
He was the biggest Jew hater of his time, Henry Ford, virulent anti-Semite. The article indicates we change our names to commit fool the Goyim sheep. Can you fool a fool? To commit fool the Goyim sheep? What does that mean?
Don't know.
Neil, spare me. Fred in Boca. I got Fred Thompson on 1420, worn out records on FM, and you're as dry as the Mojave Desert today. I'm dry today? What the hell does that mean?
I suppose yesterday you were really wet.
Yeah. I guess he liked it better yesterday when I was coughing and choking and puking and couldn't talk. God. It's a tough world out there, man.
Yep.
I think what we ought to do is have a big suicide party, and Joe Bell can be the ringleader. He can be the pivot man. You know, it's like guys who want to play Russian roulette. You first. Oh, jeez. Like that. And it just gets... And when you think it can't get any worse, like this totally out of the blue, unnecessary meeting that Norma Kant had with Joe Bell yesterday accomplished nothing other than to stir up all this crap about Joe wants to fire George again. That's all it accomplished.
Yeah.
And the thing about how when the new rating system comes, they're going to screw everybody as usual. Oh, if you think you're going to make any more money on these bonuses, you're dreaming. Of course, we'll never make any in the first place. So as they say, it may be kind of a moot point. Oh, here's another death. Somebody I never heard of, and I'm sure you didn't. You know, one thing about Howard Cosell, I know Dave Johnson hated him like poison, and a lot of other people did too. But he had balls, man. He made a big part of his living broadcasting boxing matches. He called some of the biggest fights in the history of boxing. And he was the one guy in the sports world who had the balls to say that boxing was barbaric and should have been banned a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
You not impressed?
I heard that story. I don't know, impressed is the right word.
You should be impressed. It takes balls to do that.
Okay, yeah.
Greg Page, a former heavyweight boxing champion who suffered a severe brain injury in a 2001 fight, has died at his Louisville home. He was 50. His wife, Patricia Page, Patty Page, said she found the one-time WBA champ in his bed Monday morning, dead. He died of complications related to injuries he suffered in the fight. Page told the AP her husband is in a better place now. You know, I used to laugh at people who said that.
Yeah.
Now I'm beginning to agree. He's in a better place now. The March 9, 2001 fight left Page in a coma for nearly a week. He then had a stroke during post-fight surgery, which paralyzed him on his left side, and he received intensive physical therapy. Page won a $1.2 million settlement in 2007 with Kentucky boxing officials over the lack of medical personnel at the fight. Boxing officials also agreed to establish a medical review panel for the Kentucky Boxing and Wrestling Authority to check the health conditions of people involved in the sport who may be at risk for injury. You want the best example? Take a look at Muhammad Ali. He's looking good these days, ain't he?
Not so good.
Boy, I must be psychic. Page started fighting while growing up in Louisville and was sparring with Muhammad Ali by the time he was 18. He became the National Golden Gloves heavyweight champ in 1978 at age 20. Now, he's dead. He only lived to 50. He turned to professional boxing, lost his first shot at the WBA heavyweight championship in 84 to Tim Witherspoon. In December that year, Page knocked out Jerry Coetzee in the 8th round of their bout in South Africa to claim the title, but lost on points to Tony Tubbs 5 months later. Tony Tubbs. Isn't that a great name?
Yes, it is. They call him
Page continued boxing through 93, 2 years after being knocked out by Bruce Seldon. He started again in 96. Page was 42. Yada, yada, yada. We don't care about his. Let's see. He had a 58-16-1 career record going into the $1,500 fight against Dale Crow at Peel's Palace in Erlanger, Kentucky, near Cincinnati. Crow was 24, an up-and-coming boxer. Page went down after 10 rounds and didn't get up. He's fallen and he can't get up. He be fallen. Greg Page is dead. Never heard of him.
Who?
Boxing guy.
Oh.
I think I'm going to have to rejoice here any minute.
Okay.
It might be these halls. I don't know. It might be all this crap I'm sucking on.
That could be.
You think?
It's possible. Anything's possible.
Bullfights, boxing, dog fights. What's his name doing? Michael Vicks.
Oh, I don't know.
Boy, I'll tell you one thing. Last night I put Vicks under my nose and I smeared my neck really, really good. I mean, I rubbed it in there.
Good.
To my voice box. You think that helped? Yes. I don't think it does help, to be honest with you. I mean, I like it. I like it fine, but I think the Vicks inhaler is what you need. You need to inhale the fumes.
It all helps.
I could breathe, though. I'll say that. That's why I slept good. I could breathe.
Good.
It helps. Always helps your health when you can breathe.
A little bit.
But I think the Vicks under your nose is it's a little bit annoying. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to get something smeared all over my head now, you think? Because I'm going to Woodbine it, too.
It wouldn't hurt. What about the little inhalers, the little stick things that you stick up your nose?
You're talking about Dristan?
No. It's just, it's got like,
You stick it up your nose?
Well, not all the way up there, you know.
I think you ought to stick it up your... How do you like that?
You've seen them.
What?
You just sniff on it. It's looks like a little tube, but it's rounded at the end.
A little what?
Tube. A hole in there. Don't want to describe exactly what it looks like. You get the picture. And you sniff it.
You sniff what?
The tube. It's got Vicks inside of it.
Oh, Vicks inhaler you're talking about. I never heard of it. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm a little dry today.
You can take them to the raves with you later, too.
Some of you people, man, death would be too good for you. Fred from Boca. Oh, that's right. He's in Boca. Casa Hoy's Fred. Here's Jimmy Syphilitic. I'm hearing your disparaging comments. Up until now, your unprofessionalism has been unchecked. I will see to it that Joe Bell himself is made aware of your actions. I also have a meeting scheduled with the organization. You may get your wish to get kicked off the station soon. I hear they have a backup plan in place. Yeah, good. Yeah, back into this, Jimmy. It wouldn't be the first time from what I hear.
And now, last night's 24 in 24 seconds.
It's the longest day of my life.
When Evil Jonas orders FBI Larry to withdraw from Starkwood, Larry complies, but first helps Tony sneak away. Next, Tony meets Starkwood Chairman Doug, who directs Tony to Starkwood's weapons lab. And Chief of Staff Olivia learns journalist Ken has found out about the Starkwood weapons. Olivia then sleeps with Ken and records it to prevent him from breaking the story. Now that's politics. Tony spots the weapons for the FBI. Doug's caught and killed by Jonas, and President Taylor orders an airstrike. Jonas detects the strike and calls Taylor to say he'll fire missiles at the East Coast if she won't turn the planes around. Taylor aborts the airstrike, but her admirals look more ready to fight than bodyguards at Giselle and Tom Brady's wedding. Wow, even Starkwood's afraid of those guys.
12:17 at 560 WQAM. Senator Arlen Specter to switch parties. He's going to become a Democrat.
All righty then.
Ready for that?
I'm ready.
Maybe he's still looking for that magic bullet on the stretcher at Parkland Hospital in Dallas. Remember the magic bullet?
Sure do.
I think it's the same bullet that killed President Lincoln, too.
It gets around.
Only bullet in history that killed two presidents. Arlen Specter, I guess he wants to get reelected, huh? Maybe there are going to be a lot of Republicans switching to Democrats because everybody's running away from the Republican Party. They're crazy people. They always have been, but now that they took that whooping last November, now they really lost it. Lost it. Running around with their damn teabagging parties. Mm-hmm. Larry Craig's doing a lot of teabagging, I'm hearing.
That's what I heard.
Toe tapping and teabagging. Ernie says, just heard there's one confirmed case of the swine flu in Orlando. It came on a flight from Mexico. Heard this from my fiancé just a few minutes ago. Well, I haven't seen nothing about it on breaking news on CNN.
So I know some of the folks in this crowd are anti-abortion, and they love this decision, at least the group standing outside Arlen Specter's office right now.
Wow. Lisa, appreciate that.
Wow. Arlen Specter. Crazy guy. But nevertheless. You know any politicians who aren't grave robbers, thieves?
No, none that I know.
They're trickling in today. Boxers are much more skilled or talented than basketball, baseball, football, etc. Love your show, says Macho Man. Oh, yeah, boxers are much more skilled. Boxing is for crazy people. The purpose of it is
it's hard to think.
Yeah, that's right. To inflict as much injury and punishment on the other person, barbaric. Animals in the wild do those things. People are supposed to be civilized, but of course we know they're not.
We're not.
Supposed to be.
That's why it's fun.
If somebody wants to be a boxer, they know the risks involved. Who cares? It says, look at NASCAR. Boxing is difficult and boxers are talented. From the same jackball. Boxers are talented. Yeah. 547 votes on that poll. Not too shabby. Remember when Fat Chris was here and we used to go for 1,000 and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Come on, people.
Not anymore, since they Schmidt-canned Chris and stuck him. Did he ever get his check, by the way?
Yes. He said he sent you an email, but he sent it to an email account that you no longer check.
What does that mean? You mean MySpace?
No. He sent you a thank you email to an email account that apparently you don't check very often, or you would have seen it.
MySpace?
No.
I don't have any other email account that I don't check.
Okay.
Why wouldn't he send it to the one that we use on the show?
I told him to.
And what'd he say?
Okay.
How's he doing?
Just fine, I reckon.
He's still working? He's still got a job?
He's still here.
Did you look at him and say, you still here?
Yeah.
See, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, because you know me. I got a big mouth.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just want to say this. I mean, I'm so lucky. I kissed the ground, thanks to Greg Reed for one thing, and that is allowing me to do the show outside of that studio and away from Miami.
Yeah.
Because if I had to come in there and see certain people every day, there's no way. I couldn't do it. I couldn't deal with it. And that's why when they come to you with a happy face and a phony glad hand, I would spit on it. And the hand, too. Like that. In fact, you know something?
No,
maybe
I don't.
More, huh?
I don't know anything.
Maybe more like this. Like that.
Chewy.
Especially if you have the Schweinhund flu. Maybe I shouldn't have read that thing about his girlfriend told him this. I mean, talk about unsubstantiated rumor. Irresponsible. Irresponsible. I shouldn't have read that.
All right, take it back.
But I take it back. I'll see if we can find verification of that, okay?
All right.
What are people doing coming from Mexico anyway?
What do you mean?
I'm not talking about the ones crossing the border at Texas. I'm talking about people flying from Mexico.
You know, people do that all the time. They go there on vacation. Maybe it's
crazy
cheap.
People.
I don't know why.
And hasn't there been enough murder and bloodshed in Mexico in the last several months? All these gangs and all the drug lords, all this crap. People getting slaughtered. Oh, let's go to Cancun and have a great vacation. See, this is the problem with punks. You can't tell them anything. They know it all.
That's right.
And a whole bunch of them from New York went to Cancun, spring break no doubt, and they come back with, surprise.
Hey.
We're not just talking about the Montezuma's revenge that used to keep a lot of people from going to Mexico. We're talking about the Lord's revenge. God. Where did that expression come from, Montezuma's revenge? I don't know a lot about Mexican history.
Okay. You really want to know?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
You know, Montezuma was the emperor of the Aztecs when the Spanish landed there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Cortez. that finally toppled him over.
Baby Cortez?
Yeah.
I hear he had a happy organ.
Anyway, that's his revenge. The white man for destroying the Aztec Empire is diarrhea.
Well, I wonder if Joe Bell's gotten that case of bloody, uncontrollable diarrhea that I've been willing on him. I'm going to get a voodoo doll, I swear to you. I don't believe in those things, but you know what? What can it hurt? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Right? A Joe Bell voodoo doll.
You can order them online.
Can you really?
Sure. You can get anything online, except for swine flu. You got to go to Mexico to get that.
Or to Orlando. I want to see who sent that. No doubt some Ocean provocateur. Somebody irresponsible. Oh, I'll never find it. Movie suggestions. Norma Kent. I told you I can't find it.
Oh, well.
Oh, I don't really care. You care?
Not really.
Could use a hell of a lot more emails between now and 2 o'clock, I'll tell you that. The well is running really dry. There's Arlen Specter.
We have a news conference this afternoon, and I'd be glad to tell you all about it.
Are you going to do that here on the Hill?
On the Hill.
What was the reaction from your staff, sir, when you told
I'll be glad to answer all your questions.
These are your constituents right here. What do you say to that?
Crazy people.
I don't have to say anything to them. They've said it to me.
Yay! Let's hear it for old Arlen Bush Inspector, huh? The magic bullet theory, my ass. As soon as he came up with that, they should have put him in a rubber room somewhere. Certifiable. Crazy guy. Arlen Specter becoming a Democrat. So that's going to give the Democrats one more vote in the Senate. Did you stop and think about that?
I just know.
He's one of the most senior Republican senators. And now he's going to become a Democrat. I think the Republican Party is on the way out.
Gee, I'll hold my breath.
Just like Joe Bell thinks you're on the way out.
Floridians, dumb as dirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, we return you now to SARS Search and your host, Arsenio Hall.
What up? Hey, everybody. I'm Arsenio Hall, and welcome back to SARS Search. Y'all ready for our first contestant? All the way from Hong Kong. Give it up for comedian Him Lung Bad.
Okay. How you do? First joke. Two Chinamen walk into bar. First one say...
Put your hands together for Him Lung Bad, everybody. Oh, man, I heard it dying on stage, but that was just plain old whack. All right, let's hear from our judges. Ahmet Zappa. What you think of Him Lung Bad?
I loved him. He was great. 5 stars.
Oh, man, you give everybody 5 stars. Next up, my homeboy, the one, the only, Ben Stein.
His brand of comedy is infectious. 3 stars.
All right, it is. And finally, our last SARS Search judge, the lovely and talented Naomi Judd. What do you think of Him Lung Bad, Naomi? Naomi, what up, girl? Oh, no. Oh, she ain't breathing. I better give her mouth to mouth. Oh, come on, baby, breathe. Uh-oh. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Oh, damn. Why'd I go and do that? We got to take a quick break. And we'll be right back with more SARS Search.
I'm dying over here.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Well, that sounds like the last 5 minutes of the show yesterday. I got bad news about one of my printer, copier, fax machines.
Uh-oh.
I thought it must be down there because you faxed me these copy stuff.
Yes.
And like the last page of the log, it's like got black lines down it. And so what I did is I copied a clean page from something, and that also had black lines. So either I need a new toner to stick in there, which I got, or a new drum, which cost an arm and a leg.
Damn it.
And I'm going to start expensing all these office supplies that I haven't charged them a dime for the last 7 years. That's right. New drum is like $200-300. Eyewitness News in Orlando has learned of Orlando's first confirmed case of swine flu. Thanks, Adam Oshmuck. See, that goes to show you. If you sit home all day and you got nothing to do, eventually you come up with something. Oh, my God, it's the ABC News Sounder. According to the Chief Medical Officer of Adventist Health System, Loran Hauk, the case was diagnosed this morning. We hit Bruno Tattaglia, 4 o'clock this morning. I just love the way Tessio says that. So sad.
Yeah.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Was it 3 o'clock this morning or 4 o'clock this morning?
Close enough.
So we got swine flu in Orlando. Now, let me just say this to you, okay? Nobody panic. Nobody start getting crazy. And I'm still going to Woodbine at 2 o'clock. I haven't been there for, I don't know, since Sunday morning.
Going to
today, Tuesday?
Wood Swine?
What?
You're going to Wood Swine to get some flu?
Now, wouldn't that be a good place to catch something, huh?
I imagine.
All those degenerates sitting side by each of those machines, close to each other, coughing and puking. And one thing, the first thing I do when I get home from Woodbine is I wash my hands, I scrub them. Because you're touching all them machines, man. People are sneezing and snotting and rubbing it on the machine, on the buttons. Breathing all their mung. Yeah. Now, who was it that was the recluse who, that had all the money? The famous recluse?
Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes, that's right. Very good.
With the jars of urine?
Yeah. The jaws of life?
Yeah.
Maybe he had it right, although he had enough money to be able to do that. He had everything delivered right to the door.
Right.
Anyway, Arlen Specter is going to join the Democratic Party. He was facing a real tough challenge. He nearly got beaten the Republican Party in 2004. Numerous Republicans are angry with Specter over his recent vote in support of the president's stimulus plan. Specter was one of only 3 GOP senators who voted for the measure. Now he's going to become a Democrat, and it says a Specter party switch will give Democrats a filibuster-proof Senate majority of 60 seats if Al Franken holds his current lead in the disputed Minnesota Senate race, which he will. Oh! How do you like that? Goodbye, Republican Party. They're just out of touch, man. They're out of touch. All they care about is fagulas. That's all, and half of them are. That's all they care about. Fetuses and fagulas, anything with an F. So I say F them. Also F Joe Bell while we're at it. Have you seen him today?
No.
Now, I want you to tell me, what do you think your thoughts are going to be the next time you see him in the building?
Oh, there's my good friend. Look. Greg
You're my
Reed,
friend.
Listen, Greg Reed.
Say it right.
Greg Reed hated me, and I knew it, and I had to work here for years knowing that. And so, Manashtana Khalala Hazeh is what I say.
I don't think Greg Reed hated you personally. I think he hated you. He didn't like you on the air.
I disagree.
He hated you personally?
Sure.
Why do you say that?
I could just feel it from the feedback that I got from everywhere.
Oh, George is screwing up our summer book again. Is he the one who said that or other people? I think Maddie Bell said that.
The first year that I sat in for you during the summer, it was me and Tapes, and we got an 8-2, 2 points higher than whatever was in second place, and certainly head and shoulders above everything else on the station. And I torpedoed the radio station, was Greg Reed's commentary. I torpedoed the entire station. That's why.
Torpedo, that's
all
the word.
The other
George
shows,
is going to torpedo the book again this summer.
No, I already did. I did torpedo the book. That's why all the other shows were bad, except for ours during that summer, because I did a bad
Fixed Vapor Rub, bad for babies and young children, can cause breathing problems. Somebody sent me this article. I agree with that. If you put too much under your nose, it's like, oh, I can't breathe all of a sudden. Now, I don't understand this. I'll print it out. All these conflicting reports. Everybody's getting all wild and crazy.
About
this Orlando thing.
Oh, well.
Here's another big, long, ponderous article. Not as long as the one about the Jews changing their names. Didn't Dana earlier say that he was going to go away and leave me alone?
Did he?
Yeah, he did say that. I'm positive he said that. Not going to be chronic. Just sit back. How is Sirius Radio doing, Neil? I don't know. I don't care. It's Jose, the copier guy from Homestead. Oh, my God. Can a brother get a break Florida license plate? Are you ready for that? You want to put one of those on?
For real?
Maybe you may need one of those soon.
Right? Better that than the Jesus.
Yeah. Good God. Oh, and then this guy sends me again about the certificate. Remember I forwarded that one to you?
Yes.
Oh, my God. What are we supposed to do about it? I have forwarded this to a George who gave it to the proper parties,
right.
And they'll look into it for you.
Right.
He sends it to me again. Greetings from your friend, it says here. Brady Neff. Your friend forwarded the following, and it's got no name on it. My dear friend. Oh, this is just one of those things. One of those solicitation things.
I see.
Your friend. I got so many friends. And here's another link. Health officials, no confirmed local cases of swine flu. That's in Orlando.
Okay.
Well, let's get to the bottom of this contretemps. Jimmy Dworsky, who's been absent for a while, he makes a very good point. I'm going to sort out this Orlando stuff, but he keeps it simple and right to the point. He says, you know what keeps me from going to Mexico?
I give up.
The answer is?
Mexico?
Mexico.
Neil God.
Now the Pope depends on you and the powers you possess. Since you saved his life with your flying scissor knife, he's got a job for you to do. All right. You have a brand new style too. We love the way you walk your do. With the big V on your chest and bulletproof skin tight dress, defending those who are oppressed. Oh! You bet. Moves with the speed of a gazelle, sends the bad guy straight to hell. When a building starts to glow with your image, then we know you're crushing crime with one mighty
I think what George ought to do is waltz right into Joe Bell's desk when Joe comes back from lunch, pull his pants down, and take a big squat and dump on his desk.
Okay, sure.
Health officials say no confirmed local cases of swine flu in Orlando. So Eyewitness News, it says a report on WFTV.com shows a doctor at Florida Hospital confirmed the case of swine flu from a Mexican tourist who visited Walt Disney World. Officials at the Florida hospital said there are no confirmed cases of swine flu in Central Florida, but state health officials said they've sent some flu-like cases to the CDC for testing. And this one said this, and bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bop. Remember that with Santino?
Yep.
What did they say? Bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bop. That was good. He was great. Also was great in Misery.
Yep. I always liked James Caan.
Misery and Deadbolt.
And Rollerball.
Didn't have anybody comment on the movie Deadbolt. I guess nobody's seen it, or else they hated it. With Adam Baldwin and Justine Bateman, who George has the hots for.
Heavy duty hots.
Not even lukewarms?
No. Smoldering hots.
How about Luke Halpin? We've released one suspect case that was sent to a state lab for testing, and we're waiting to see what that is. Orange County Health Department spokesman Dan Wiseman said there may be more than one case. Any influenza-like cases are being sent and being looked at. And, of course, you know what season this is?
Flu season?
Yeah, right, flu season.
Coincidence?
Weister said they haven't received any confirmation from CDC about swine flu in Central Florida. A report on WFTV.com showed that a doctor at a Florida hospital confirmed a case of swine flu in a Mexican tourist at Walt Disney World. But guess what? No way, Jose. No way, Jorge. Oh, look at this. Here's some photos from the swine flu scare of 1976.
Wow.
Oh, my God. And then there was the avian flu, and one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see that recast with Joe Bell as the Jack Nicholson character. Only in this version of it, Nurse Ratched puts the thing around his neck and she don't stop. Remember the way she looked after he finally they got him off of her?
Yeah.
Her eyeballs were bulging out of her head.
Yep.
Ishma says, Boca Brian should change the song Goodbye Goldie, Bye-Bye Goldie to Bye-Bye George. Might as well do Bye-Bye Neil, too. Once Joe Bell hires a good contract lawyer to find loopholes that your incompetent attorney wrote, probably while he was high. My incompetent attorney wrote while he was high. Hey, just write a check. I can be gone in 10 seconds.
Get a check.
And didn't I tell you this Dana Hall is an idiot? The Chronics are all crazy people. We decided that a long time ago. Chronics. Oh, yeah. Chronic callers, chronic emailers, chronic anything. Chronic be bad.
Yep.
Oh, there's Arlen Specter, the new Democrat.
Into an independent and still caucus with the Republicans. But this is a pretty big surprise that obviously he's switching to be a Democrat, to be sure.
And what about the timing? What do you make of the timing of this? And I guess the first question is, why?
Well, there's two reasons. First and foremost, he is up for a very tough election next year in Pennsylvania. Pat Toomey, a former Republican congressman from the Allentown area of Pennsylvania, very conservative. He ran against Senator Specter in the primary 5 years ago and almost won. He lost the primary only by about 10,000 votes. Senator Specter, as you know, voted for the stimulus package.
Yeah. Magic bullet. It's on the stretcher there at Parkland Hospital. So here's Dana Hall's last email, I hope. I'm just going to block his ass. He's an idiot. The presidential election is a ruse, R-O-O-S-E, against the American people. You ever have a good pot ruse?
Just this morning.
The government overlords want to make everyone believe that they actually have a voice in selecting the rulers of the so-called great land. Be smart. Don't buy into it. Because it's nothing more than a grand peeing match. He doesn't say peeing, but I can't say that word. Regardless as to anyone's political affiliation, give it a second look and think for yourself. Sorry, guys, had a voice on this one. Dana Hall. Now I won't be chronic. Just go away already. You're a crazy person. The Bilderbergers, the Illuminati, the Trilateral Commission. All of these
things.
Damn things. Now, here's something. Let's see. First, this one from the Baron. Everybody's got a handle, you know?
Sure. I got several.
Do you?
On site.
Yeah, I saw that poll that day when I was on vacation.
My fake DJ name poll?
The Baron says, good to hear you sounding better today. I thought I was going to catch the flu listening to you yesterday. Yeah, I was coughing and hacking just for the last 5 minutes, though.
Right.
Really got bad. Maybe it'll do it again today. I hope not. I'm sucking on my Hall's Mentholyptus. By the way, the dying on the air bit has been done. Jack Spector dropped dead doing a weekend shift for WHLI in 1994. He was playing I'm in the Mood for Love at the time. Isn't that sweet?
Aww.
You know one of the people who sang I'm in the Mood for Love? Fats Domino on Imperial Records. I'm going to Joyce pretty soon, I think.
Good.
I'm either going to do it on the throne or in my pantaloonies there. I got my shorts on. I got to start getting dressed pretty soon for Woodbine. Gee, you sound like that. You're going to go to Woodbine? You got a gambling problem, mister. Owning Mahoney. That's a movie you got to see. Did you ever wind up seeing that with Philip Seymour Hoffman?
I was the one that told you about it first.
Oh, so you had seen it?
I had seen it, and then I told you about it, and then you saw it and said, yeah, it's great.
Great flick. Great flick. Sad.
Right. True story.
And true story in Toronto.
Still, very riveting.
You know who was funny? Bernie, the black kid that worked in the casinos.
Yeah.
He was funny. You're not gonna believe this. The state of Florida, the mugwump state, is coming to the 15th century. The Florida Senate has passed a bill to outlaw sex with animals.
Get out.
Yeah.
Well, I better hurry.
Don't be sheepish about it.
Never am.
Having sex with animals could soon be outlawed in Florida. The Senate unanimously passed a bill today that would make it a third-degree felony for anyone to have sex with an animal. A similar bill in the House hasn't been debated on the floor. Florida is one of 16 states without any law banning bestiality. The bill, sponsored by Senator Nan Rich, Democrat of Weston, would make the offense a third-degree felony, punishable by up to 5 years in prison. The Florida law would not apply to veterinary practices. What does that mean? So, in other words, the vet can have sex with your dog, or I don't get that.
That's right, as long as there's no passion involved.
No. Oh, that's what the priest said on 60 Minutes. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Said it wasn't a sin as long as there's no passion involved. And that was about molesting girls, no less. Wow. According to the National Humane Society, several studies highlight a link between sexual assault of animals and sex crimes against humans. Here, Pooch. Just sick. Really, really sick. Can a brother get a break Florida license plate? Fighting a Republican move to approve religiously oriented specialty license tags and bitter about proposed salary cuts for state workers, Senate Democratic leader Al Lawson has a specialty tag idea of his own. Worried about the separation of church and state, Democratic critics are also incensed about the proposed tag that would feature an image of Christ on the cross. Lawson's amendment to SB 2326 is called, Can a Brother Get a Break license plate? The plate must prominently display an image of State Senator Alfred Al Lawson, Jr. The phrase, Can a Brother Get a Break, shall appear in bold letters at the bottom of the plate. Proceeds from the plate would go to Employees Relief Fund for the purpose of offsetting salary and benefit cuts by the legislature and providing grief counseling. The amendment doesn't mention that Lawson is running for Congress next year. Can a brother get a break? License plate. It's cute.
Yeah, I want mine.
You want yours? I think you're going to get yours.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's going to happen? I don't want to conjecture because I'm assuming that maybe I'll be able to continue bailing your ass out. I do my best.
Uh-huh.
Don't I?
Yes, you do.
But what happens if they find some loophole? That's what they're looking for. I think that's what he made clear at this meeting. That's what got me so upset. In other words, what I want doesn't count, no matter what it is.
Right.
I have nothing to say about this show anymore. Nothing.
So it would seem.
Which proves to me that they want me to take a walk, and it's not going to happen. If I should win the lotto or something for like $15 million or something like that, not only will I take a walk, but I'll come in here one day and do a show the likes of which they have never. They'll have to bust the transmitter.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do? Have you thought about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to get a job on a radio station is plan A, and if not, the repo business is booming right now. Everybody getting repoed.
Yeah, you got good experience in that.
Yep.
Maybe you could repo Joe Bell.
I'm sure he's doing
But like I said, I want to say this. Maybe I'll say it every day.
Uh-huh.
After what he did to Ken Malden, nobody is safe. Just keep that in mind.
Right.
It was the Humper and Eddie Kay and, just a long, long laundry list of people that have gotten really screwed and tattooed. And I don't think any of them in a very ceremonious way, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because it would take a mensch to do it in a ceremonious way. And if there's one thing Joe Bell is not, there are many things he is. If there's one thing he's not, it's a mensch.
O'Neill! It's the 1 to 2 hour.
Right now on Entertainment Tonight.
The First Lady Michelle Obama is generating a little bit of controversy. She touched Queen Elizabeth on her nipple.
And it's not so hard.
But the Queen's former press secretary says it's okay.
They have brought together that special relationship that we've always had.
Also, President Obama reportedly gave a sausage to Her Majesty.
It's not perfect, but it is the right size.
It's enormous.
I don't want any Spam.
Plainly X-rated. We'll be right back.
Well, I got some bad news about my fax machine, at least one of them. Thank God I got two.
Yeah.
But the one I don't use all that much, the one that you fax me stuff on, and the one that you send me the log and
things like that.
So I changed the toner cartridge, thinking that maybe that would eliminate those dark black lines. And I just sent a copy of something through there.
Yeah.
Worse than ever.
Somebody, remember it was happening over here, and somebody told us that there's something dirty in there. It just needs to be cleaned, and we did it, and it worked.
Something dirty and where?
In the copier somewhere. I'm not a copier guy.
Maybe I think I need a new drum.
Okay.
Now, if I were smart, I'd take the drum out of the other one, stick it in that machine, and run something through there. What do you think? Because the other one's working fine.
Sounds like a plan.
Maybe I should do it now. I'll do it during the break. It'd be more exciting to do it now. Larry says, you're right, Neil. People do everything on the slot machines. About the only bodily fluid I haven't seen yet is pee, but I'm sure it's on their hands. I use my knuckle to hit the buttons. There's some people that bring a glove. There's one strange young guy that he wears a black leather glove and a black leather jacket. and he plays 1 credit at a time on the quick hit machines.
Yeah.
On the 2-cent machines, he plays 1 credit at a time. Well, what's the point?
I don't know. To kill time?
Kill time, I guess. It said, Larry says, plus Joe Bell is Jewish too. His father changed their name from Bellowitz to Bell, so his son was able to get a job. Yeah, you should live so long, Larry. Boy. Jew killer. But at any rate, we don't want to dwell on Joe Bell. Do we?
Whatever.
I mean, I could do the whole show on him every day, but what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Heath, it seems clear that you know George is gone and you're trying to show him that you attempted to protect him. Neil, you helped him as much as a mother bird could protect its young. But that bird needs to leave the nest and probably won't make it. Sorry, Neil, says Heath. Yeah, Heath is probably Joe Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think?
Makes sense.
I don't think George is going anywhere. 604 votes on that poll about bad breath and mung and nose picking and ass scratching and ball licking, scratching. Now, Blackie says, I just got this email from the desk at work. I work for a hospital. Maybe this will help with a mass panic. If there's one thing we don't want to do, it's create a mass panic. Although the rest of the media are doing a hell of a job on that. Thank the Lord that Arlen Specter decided to switch parties. At least now that's all they're talking about. As opposed to that. See, no matter how much they get whipped up about something, there's always something else that comes along
right,
and knocks it off their front page. Anyway, so Blackie sent me this info. It's from Arthur E. Brown, Chief and Director Employee Health and Wellness Services at this hospital. It says, no doubt you're aware that cases of swine flu have been identified in New York City and an outbreak is occurring in Mexico. Unlike the illness being reported from Mexico, the cases in the U.S. to date have been quite mild, and New York City has not seen any increase in ER visits for respiratory illnesses. Nonetheless, however, we want to make every effort to inform and protect our employees and our patients. The infection control team is monitoring the situation carefully and will keep us up to date. We've had some inquiries from staff regarding this situation, so here are the basic guidelines you should follow. When in question or in doubt, run in circles, scream, and shout. Now, here it is. 1. If you have symptoms of respiratory illness, fever, chills, sore throat, cough, severe fatigue, muscle aches, etc., do not report to work. Notify your supervisor and employee health and wellness and contact your personal physician or visit your local emergency room. Following your recovery, you must come to EHNWS to be cleared to return to work. 2. If you're already at work and begin to experience symptoms of a respiratory illness, or as they say here, respiratory, please have your supervisor call EHNWS, Employee Health and Wellness Services, and their professionals will help you determine what your next step should be. 3. The most effective way to lower the risk of influenza transmission is for individuals with symptoms to stay home. Everyone should cover their mouths with disposable facial tissues when they cough. Additional precautions should include washing your hands often with soap and water, especially after you cough or sneeze.
See there?
4. That was a stage cough.
Oh.
Not really, it was half and half. 4. Employees who do not have respiratory illness symptoms and are otherwise able to report to work are expected to do so. As this is an evolving story, updates will be posted on the intranet and on the EHNWS website. Says Artie Brown. That calm me down a little bit?
Okay.
I mean, there's nobody died from it in the USA yet.
Good.
And the fact that they're dying in Mexico, probably by some, can be only viewed as I'm not going to say it.
A normal day?
No. I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
You're going to try to see. They're still hocking a Chinook about Arlen Specter. What are they doing on MSNBC? If they're still on Arlen Specter and MSNBC, let's see.
Something like a chairmanship or a subcommittee chairmanship from the Democrats.
There he is.
Andrew, when I first heard about
President
this,
Obama tells Specter the Democrats are thrilled to have you.
You get that you immediately call in triple.
Isn't that what Joe Bell said about you? We're thrilled to have George?
Yeah.
It's really interesting because in the past he's always had wonderful things to say about you on the air and about what a valuable employee you are. Now that they've decided they want to blow you out, he doesn't like you on the air and there are other people can do a better job and yada, yada. Meaning, of course, Flea, your good, close, personal friend.
Right.
So I think this is all part of a greater plan to either get me to walk out. I think that's what it's all about, to get me to walk out. I won't walk out under any circumstances. I'm not going to cut off my ass to spite my legs.
Good plan.
But that's what he wants, and you keep denying that.
Well, I'll stop. How's that?
Because you know how much money I'm making, which is still, even though half of what it used to be, still a pretty good penny.
Yeah.
They could bring somebody in for like 10% of that.
Sure.
And get the same numbers they get, like certain day parts like that, or ones.
I think that's what they want.
Maybe Sid the Kid. I guess Joe's been lunching with Sid Rosenberg. He's a good backstabber, from what I hear. Maybe they're cooking something up. Maybe they got a big cauldron up there in Joe's office, like the witch in L.A. What was which one was it with the witch?
Macbeth.
Cinderella.
Okay.
Am I right?
Yeah.
The witch with the big cauldron cooking up that special brew.
Sleeping Beauty.
Get ready to screw you. The audience won't sit still for it, though. Look at the tremendous outpouring we've had today. Not. They're more worried about Arlen Specter and the Schweinhund flu. Boy, here's a nice long one. Don't let me forget during the break to try that thing with the drum from the other one. Because if this one goes out, what you need is a drum for your fax. I believe that. Oh, Jose, the copier guy, he should know. It needs a new drum.
Right.
Usually there's a warning on there. It says replace drum, And you don't want to do that because the toner cartridges aren't all that expensive. The drum, oh, my God. Maybe I'll order 10 drums to have them just in case.
There you go.
And charge it all to QAM. Do you have any idea how many thousands of dollars I've spent out of my own well-heeled pocket in these 7.5 years?
Sure.
Never charged them a dime. And what do I get? Oh, we want to fire George. We hate you, Neil. We love your show, but we hate you. Oh, I like that one.
Wow, deep.
Paul Rodriguez says, I assume the vet exception for sex with animals is in the case of artificial insemination. Yeah, that's it. That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
The debate has been going on in Tallahassee for a few weeks. I remember hearing about this debate for a couple of articles I read about the lovely state senator Larcenia Bullard from Miami. It says, check this out and stay very far away from here, Neil. Oh, boy. Via Jonathan Turley on Counter the Elsewhere Freakish but Florida Mundane story of State Senator Larcenia Bullard, Democrat of Miami. Bullard became agitated during a Florida legislative debate over a bestiality law. I'm not entirely sure, based on my familiarity with Florida, that this is a bad thing. I'm not sure that they should be excluding some of the smarter animals for their potential gene pool. Anyway, Bullard became agitated when someone used the term animal husbandry. Rich's legislation would target only those who derived or helped others derive sexual gratification from an animal, specifying that conventional dog judging contests and animal husbandry practices are permissible. The last provision tripped up Miami Democratic Senator Larcenia Bullard. People are taking these animals as their husbands? What's husbandry, she asked. Some senators stifled their laughter as Senator Charlie Dean, an Inverness Republican, explained that husbandry is raising and caring for animals. Bullard didn't get it. So maybe that was the reason the lady was so upset about that monkey Bullard asked, referring to a Connecticut case where the woman's suburban chimpanzee went mad. Yes, the federal government is growing increasingly law-encrusted, but bear in mind that most of the laws that govern your everyday life, determine how your children are educated, limit how you run your business, are debated and passed by the state and local politicians like Larcenia Bullard. So ask yourself, do the anarchists still seem so silly? How do you like that?
Well,
and a commentator at The Agitator points out that Bullard is the vice chair of the Agricultural Committee and a former teacher, making her ignorance even more awesome.
All right.
Animal husbandry. Isn't that right down the road? Marry your pet?
Sure.
You got gay marriage coming. That's what the right-wingers are going to tell you. Next thing you'll be able to marry your orangutan. The Dow's up 7 points, by the way. It's not doing much. Breaking news. Specter made decision after the poll showed him trailing in the primary. Boy, what a political opportunist, huh? He's afraid he's going to get his ass whipped, so he changes,
So he would be fighting against Toomey, with Toomey having all the odds.
Exactly. I mean, 5 years ago, he beat Toomey by a whisker, former Congressman Toomey. And so, like everyone else, he saw more than 200,000 people leave the party within the course of the last year plus. Who are those?
It's called abandoning a sinking ship. It's like people jumping off the Titanic. Racing away from the Republican Party. Like a sick, dying animal in the desert.
Station stands for nothing.
This is Eyewitness News. Did Alaska Governor Sarah Palin know her daughter Bristol was having sex?
Darn right. In the darkest of places, in the butt. I've been there with Joe the plumber and Joe Sixpack and polar bears.
We'll show you some racy clips. It's enormous. Poor.
Oh, I already played that, but you can't have too much sex with Levi Johnston. Guaranteed. So I swapped out, and Jose was right, and I was right. It was the drum, man. Oh! Got a bad drum. That's the expensive part.
Yeah, look at all the money you saved them.
Now, didn't I already do this thing from Kenny Grammer? Is saying, you got to listen to the show, Kenny, about the Supreme Court and expletives and yada, yada, yada. Already been there, done that. Been there and done that. But you know what? I'll print it out and read it again. Maybe some people missed it. The world is, we've got butchery going on all over the world. People are dying from swine flu. The economy is, we're in a worldwide depression. And the government is worried about the words that we say on the radio and TV. These are the times that try men's souls. Aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Need some more emails here this last 42 minutes, I'll tell you that. Although I never got to this one. Actually, I got a few things. A couple of things. Not a few. Don't say a few, then they won't send you no more.
Okay.
Neil at neilrogers.com. Fat Chris could be sending his thank you note to that email address, and I'd get it just fine. I miss getting, what emails I miss badly? Remember we used to get the fake emails about Fat Chris and Joe Bell?
Oh, those, yeah.
Those were amusing. Not hysterical, not fall down on your face and go nuts laughing, but amusing. It was bad enough when Gail Buckner took her husband's marked Polk County Sheriff's Office patrol car without permission and went on a Sunday morning joyride through Lakeland, investigators say. It got even worse when investigators discovered that Buckner was a convicted felon and 3 different types of firearms were inside the patrol car during the joyride. To top it all off, the teenager riding in the back seat, who found it exciting as the lights flashed and the siren wailed, was out on bail on an armed robbery charge, according to arrest reports. All right. Buckner, 38, of Lakeland, and Alexander James Quintasket, 19, were arrested Sunday, as was the second passenger, Sharon Lynn Cooper, 54. Buckner's husband, Deputy Charles Chip Buckner III, resigned today, Sheriff's Office spokesman Kerry Elise said. What day was this? Oh, this is today. Investigators and arrest reports give this account of what happened at 11:30 Sunday morning. A witness saw Charles Buckner's patrol car leaving a gas station, moving erratically down the road with the lights and the siren on. As the patrol car drove toward Cruise Lake Road, it ran a red light. Other vehicles yielded to its flashing light and wailing siren. The patrol car was going over 80 miles an hour. The witness followed the car into a subdivision and to the Buckner's house. A sheriff's sergeant called Charles Buckner, who told the sergeant his wife had taken his sheriff's office-issued car without his permission while he was sleeping. He was sleeping. During the joyride, Gail Buckner, Cooper, and Quintasket had access to 3 weapons, a sheriff's office Glock pistol and a something-gauge shotgun, and Charles Buckner's personal .380 Walther PPK pistol. Gail Buckner told investigators she made a bad judgment call, meant no harm. Cooper said she's suffering from a terminal illness, and that's why Buckner took her for a spin in the deputy's cruiser. Maybe she wanted to speed up the process, you think? Oh, no, don't start again. Not with 39 minutes to go. Quintasket told investigators he knew he shouldn't have been riding in the car, but assumed Buckner had permission to take it because she had the keys. Hubby was asleep. Quintasket, out on bail on an armed robbery charge, initially gave deputies a false name. He told deputies that if he went back to jail, his bond would be revoked. The teen also told deputies he enjoyed riding in the patrol car and found it exciting. The Dow's up 6 points, not 2. Exciting. Oh, this is kicking in again.
Oh, no.
Remember yesterday, right about this time, and then the last 5 minutes? Oh, no.
You were going to die.
Not good. Maybe too many of these Hall's Mentholyptus. I think too much of this crap can screw you up. Anyway, Quintasket was charged with grand theft, impersonating a law enforcement officer, grand theft of a firearm, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and resisting arrest without violence. He's being held without bail at Polk County Jail. Oh, Polk Salad Annie would be so proud. Polk County. You ever been to Polk County, Lakeland?
Not lately.
Oh, what a Yahoo place. I thought you were going to say just this morning.
Well, I wasn't.
Fast trip. What a real Yahoo place. You talk about trailer trash. Oh. Oh, my God. I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. And it goes on a little bit. I don't think we need to know what they were charged with, et cetera, and so on, do we? No. I'm telling you, this thing is coming back again for this last half hour. I think 3 hours would have been fine. See? See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any tea today, though. But you know what I am going to have?
What?
Bacon. I didn't make it this morning because we were too busy involved talking about you getting fired.
Yeah.
So I didn't make no bacon. But I think I should have some before I go to Woodbine, as opposed to those candy bars.
Probably.
If there's one thing that'll really screw up your throat big time, chocolate. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Phlegmy.
Am I right?
Yes.
Rick in Boca says, if you or George are trying to figure out why management may want George out, forget it. You're thinking too logically, and forget that all the recent decisions made are totally illogical. Here we go again.
Damn it.
You'll be more successful in predicting on what will happen with George by looking at the poor decisions made in the past and applying their logic to the present and future. That don't sound too promising.
No.
I think I better get one of them Strepsils.
Good idea.
I don't think it'll do any good, but I'm going to go get one.
Oh, Neil. Neil got out. WQAL. Where the faggot is.
He lives on Queer Street, lingers round on Queer Street. He has a house and garden. I would love to see what happens. Paints his toes and pets his monkey. Women's clothes make him look real funky. He has a whiz and knows what to do. You fair. He wants me and he wants you.
He lives on Queer Street, near a store where all the creatures meet. I wonder what they're doing in there. He said he liked it just fine. I'll bet if you knew Judy like I know Judy.
La 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 la.
No.
La 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 la. You fairy.
He lives on Queer Street, lingers around on Queer Street. He has a house.
Oh, yeah, good old Druzy. I wonder what ever happened to her. 1:30. This is coming back again.
Damn it.
Well, damn it what?
Well, that's not good.
Well, I don't think I'm going to try to talk for another half hour while I can barely speak. I got my Strepsil, though.
Good. Some hot tea?
No, I don't have no hot tea. Should I go make some hot tea?
Yeah, I think you should.
I don't think that helps. I think that actually led to my demise yesterday, the hot tea.
Well, I don't.
I think that's just
it's not
a peddling point to sell more tea.
No.
You don't?
Hot liquids, the non-phlegmy kind. Like you don't want to drink hot milk.
Milk? I don't drink no milk.
Right.
You crazy? What about my caffeine-free Diet Coke?
Not as good as hot tea.
Mike Johnson is back. He says Joe Bell's reach is far and wide. Seems like it's not only Joe Bell blowing people out of Beasley. Radio stations in Florida, across the coast in southwest Florida, they fired several of their experienced on-air personalities, Weekend, etc., in favor of inexperienced 21 to 25-year-old floozies who wouldn't know Sidney Crosby from Bing Crosby. That's cute. On top of that, even though they fired them, and not for work-related issues, they're trying to block them from working at their competitors' sports stations by invoking the non-compete clauses. Jolly Joe Bell must have taught these people well before leaving here and coming over to the East Coast and ruining it there. And then he goes on with his radio listening habits. All right, well, thanks, Mike. Thanks for the first part. Oh, are you faxing me something?
Yes. Yes, I am.
It's not going to come through.
No?
I mean, it'll come through with a bunch of black lines. Oh, no. I'm not going to be able to read it.
Oh, damn it. Well, I'll save it for tomorrow.
Well, what I can do is I can stick the other thing in there, the other drum, and then you can refax them.
Right. It's not pressing.
What?
It's not pressing. It's just another
sure it is.
Priest story.
It's a great Priest story. Where's it from? Arkansas.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to play a little tune or do something. Just a second. One moment, please. Oh, this isn't good.
I'll say. CD player don't work either.
What?
Oh, there we go. It's seized up.
Okay, refax the 2 pages. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. And now let's see. They should come out pristine and clean with the other drum in there. Of course, once upon a time, I used to keep a spare drum along with several spare toner cartridges, which I have, but not the drum. They're expensive, man. They're going to cost Joe Bell a fortune when I order like 20 of them.
Wow.
Well, you can never have too many spares. Are you refaxing or not?
Yes.
Wow. This is exciting. Well, what's really going to be exciting is if I can read it. You think?
Maybe.
Now, I'm not going to be able to get another drum until tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, remind me early.
Okay.
Before you fax the log to swap these out.
I'll write a note.
Because I need to keep it in the other machine because that's the one I print out all these nifty stories and emails and crap on, which is the show.
Okay.
Oh, why don't you take some calls? And you can barely speak. Take some calls. No. Maybe if I croaked, I would take some calls. Are you sure? Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. And it's 2 pages, too, so it's going to be a real challenge. I think I got over that. It was just like a lump of phlegm, I guess, that started that again.
Well,
it takes forever to get this crap out of your system. And like I said, it's only been a week. Sometime this crap lasts for like 2 weeks or more.
Wow.
Right?
Yep.
And like you said, it waxes and wanes. And here's a nice clean copy. I got a clean machine, man. From the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. 3 more claim abuse by former minister. You said priest.
Oh, whatever.
Baptist minister. Mister, you better get your ministers straight.
They're all priests.
They're all
gay.
Oh. Are they really?
In one respect or another. Whatever title they like best.
Well, what do you mean by that? Baptists have priests?
That's
Baptists
not their official title, but the priest is the word for any clergyman is a priest.
Even a rabbi? Benton, Arkansas, at least 3 men have come forward saying they were sexually abused as teenagers by a longtime Baptist minister who was arrested last week after a teenager reported a 2006 instance. David Kent Pierce, former music minister at Benton's First Baptist Church, was arrested on a felony count of sexual indecency with a child, according to an arrest report. When church leaders became aware of possible abuse, they contacted authorities and provided investigators with the names of 3 adult church members who also said they were abused by Pierce when they were younger. Pierce, 56, of Benton, showed teenage boys pornography on a church computer, engaged in sexually explicit conversations, and took detailed measurements of their bodies, according to allegations. It sounds like the NFL Combine. I wonder if the Big O was there.
Rock solid.
The indecency charge stems from a 17-year-old boy's claim that Pierce took him to a lake cabin when the boy was 15 and made him measure his own genitals while Pierce watched and took notes, which he called charting. The arrest report says. Sexual indecency with a child is a Class D felony, punishable by up to 6 years in the slammer. Pierce could face additional charges as the investigation continues, said Lieutenant Mike Frost. We're still interviewing victims, Frost said, noting that some allegations date back a number of years. The arrest report makes no allegation that Pierce touched the boy's genitals, and the sheriff's office would not discuss specifics, saying the case is ongoing. Pierce has denied any touching. While I fully acknowledge the sinfulness and immorality of my past behavior, I did not engage in actual sexual contact, specifically oral sex intercourse or masturbating another individual with any person. Pierce wrote in a letter to church leaders. The letter was quoted in court. He just wanted to see if the kids measured up, I guess. Like the NFL Combine. Oh, there's the Toronto Make-Believes. They sure don't measure up. I think it's the Marlies. You like the Marlies?
The who's?
The Marlies, that's the minor league team.
Oh.
The Leafs minor league team, the Toronto Marlies. Or you like the Marlins better? The Marlins?
The Marlins.
Marlins have lost, 7 in a row now. They keep up like this, man. There's going to be nobody left to come to those games till they get that spiffy new stadium. That'll last for about 2 weeks. Pierce also wrote he didn't think his actions have violated criminal or civil law. Pierce was fired from the church April 18 after admitting to serious moral failures. Pastor Rick Grant told church members the next Sunday, I'm heartsick over all this, Grant said. During my 20-plus years in ministry here, this is the most difficult thing I've had to deal with by far. It wasn't immediately clear who's representing Pierce, though Deputy Prosecutor Rebecca Bush said during a hearing Monday that an Arkadelphia attorney, what the hell's Arkadelphia?
I don't know.
Hear that?
No.
Arkadelphia attorney had been retained. The attorney was not present. Pierce, wearing a striped jail uniform, said little as he appeared on the TV screen in District Judge Mike Robinson's courtroom. Bail hearings in Saline County are conducted remotely with inmates remaining in jail. Robinson said bail of $25,000, ordered Pierce to have no contact with his accuser, sexual or otherwise. I think I made a pretty good comeback there. Maybe it was that strep episode, you think?
Must have been.
I think all that stuff is crap. It's all like glorified candy.
Okay.
Although that Rexall stuff I had yesterday, see, if I would have been smart, I would have gone and bought more. I didn't. That was working pretty good till those last 5 minutes.
Damn it.
Oh, there's Arlen Inspector.
We need to tell you that Senator Arlen Inspector just announced he was going to be a Democrat. So this is exciting news here in Philadelphia and, of course, Pennsylvania, but I think also for the country, given his significant vote with regard to the Recovery Act and making sure that was...
And, of course, who the Republicans got waiting in the wings? You know who they're talking about now? Newt Gingrich.
Oh, my God.
That's what they got.
You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Well, here we go again.
On South.
We're the flagship station.
yeah, another with a dead ending like that. And I just got back from gargling.
And how is it?
Brandon said, gargle with something, and it'll clear your throat right up. And don't I sound much better?
Yes, you do.
What a freaking genius, that Brandon. Let's make him the general manager and fire Joe Bell.
Oh!
Let's take a vote. The Dow's up 21 points. Aren't you excited? There's a pasty, what's her name?
What's her name?
What the hell is her name? I forget. Arlen Specter's a Democrat. Let's hear it.
Oh!
She's Alan Greenspan's wife.
I don't know who that is.
The NBC reporter, blonde, old, goofy-faced.
Sorry.
Oh, my God.
Barbara Walters.
Oh, yeah. Loud cell calls was a late addition to the poll, says Steve in Jersey. It has now passed every item but bad breath, indicating what an annoying and antisocial activity it is. I heard there's a gadget out to cut off surrounding cell calls up to 50 feet and would have anything to have one, says Steve in Jersey.
They do have
I haven't even looked at that poll lately. Have you?
No. Maybe we should.
Okay, let me print it out. On the good machine, man. Just another annoyance, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Surviving this damn Schweinhund flu. Hotel's bathroom voted classiest U.S. flush. Luxury Nashville hotel is the tops in toilets. Well, that's good. I'll save that one for tomorrow. If I'm here tomorrow. You might be here. I might not be able to talk. Although I think I'm getting over it. Oh, I am. I don't have any more nasal congestion. No more big chunks of snot. I can breathe. I'm not wheezing. Here's the poll, 644 votes. That's not too bad for now. You know, in the old days, we'd have like 1,100 when we had an audience. The most annoying habit other people can do in my presence. By the way, speaking of audience, Thursday morning at 10, the book comes out. All you people in the business, all you closet listeners out there, they'll all be gathered around their radios. Like FDR's fireside chats. Everybody used to gather around the radio.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they'll be doing on Thursday. The winter book. I think our last chance ever for a bonus. Certainly your last chance.
Right.
The most annoying habit other people can do in my presence is emit bad breath or BO 139. Have a loud cell phone conversation 75. Pick their nose 71. Chew with their mouth open 68. Fart 65. Turn that around. Fart 56. That's our new logo. Fart 56. I can hear the jingles now. Blind Mike can sing them for us. Spit on the ground 35. Spit while talking 30. Chew gum noisily.
About 30, man.
Whistle 24. Scratch their balls 21. Crack their knuckles 13. Hum 13. Now, speaking of scratching their balls, what is that Latin thing that Italians and Latinos do as a gesture of hostility? Where they grab their balls?
Yeah, it looks pretty hostile to me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the brothers do it too.
The brothers do that too?
A lot of people. Yeah.
A lot of people grab their balls?
Sure, if they have them.
Hum 13, sneeze 11, cough 11, pick their teeth 8, burp 8, scratch their butt 7, bite their nails 7. Did I say crack their knuckles 13? I don't think I can do it. Just a little bit. Not too good.
I already did mine.
Bite their nails 7. What's wrong with biting their nails?
Some people don't like that.
Well, too bad. I bite my nail, although I don't bite them in public. Eat sloppy 4, jingle their keys 4. Oh, and this one's my Corvette key. It's only got one key on it. Well, is that like some kind of a signal when guys jingle their keys?
You asked that. You'd have to tell me.
What do you mean I'd have to tell you? Is it something like that?
Like toe tapping or something? I don't know.
Oh, toe tapping? I don't know nothing about that. I know about tapping other things, but not toe tapping. Oh, I think I'm going to make it. Thanks, Brandon, for the good advice. He said, just for a quick fix, go and gargle something. If you have mouthwash, gargle that. It'll help clear your throat. And it did.
Didn't hear someone else suggest that earlier and you poo-pooed it?
Who did?
Somebody did. You said
I gargled my orange Listerine.
Good.
The only problem is I damn near almost swallowed it.
Don't do that.
That gargling is it's like a balancing act. You got to
take a breath first.
No, you got to balance that stuff on your taste buds, on your throat.
Yeah, take a breath first.
And then spit it out. And the Listerine, too. Vince says, what's the deal with Joe Bell getting rid of George? What did George do? Talking trash about Joe? No, they just want to save the money. That's the excuse. Plus, they hate him like poison.
Yeah.
And they want to do it to spite me. Whatever I want, they'll do the opposite. So let's fire George. What do you say? See, if I say that we ought to fire you, then they'll...
Hey, maybe that'll help.
George and company did a great job in your absence. Thought last Wednesday's and Thursday's shows went especially amusing and educational. You were educational?
I was talking some
Where
religion.
did that start?
I don't know.
You were talking about what?
Religion, you know.
No.
A little bit.
Heathen.
I know.
As always, the chronic callers were nitwits, but George did a good job handling them, so I hope that George stays on the show as long as you both like. Take care, Vince. Thank you, Vince. Kim says, just saw the Big O on a video at the QAM website. Wow. Not a face made for a video or near lunchtime. That's bad, Kim. That's evil. Am I on the wrong channel here? Oh, yeah, I'm on the Weather Network. What the hell do I want that? 7. Yes, yesterday it was 27. It was like 81 degrees. And now it's 7:45. And you wonder why people get sick? You wonder why they get this seasonal flu? Forget about the swine flu. What about the seasonal flu? The change of season. One day it's freezing. The next day it's hot as hell. Not good, is it?
No.
Not good for you. The fake Doug says, now see here. If Joe Bell fires George, I'll send George the pictures I have of Joe Bell and some other fat guy, possibly Chris. They were at the Pompano Seafood Festival on the beach, sweating and rolling around in the sand, licking and kissing, and they were so drunk they fell asleep with their heads between their legs. The police had to be called over for them to stop the obscene behavior that was going on. Let me know, says the fake Doug. We'll let you know, fake Doug. I'm going to make it. Thanks, Brandon. Brandon saved my ass. Now, maybe if I could get a spittoon in here, what do you think?
You should always have a spittoon.
And get a big jug of Listerine?
Get a big spitting cup like the people that chew tobacco.
A big spittoon. I think we can't fart, but we can certainly spit, at least as of now.
Right.
Probably get a memo from Joyce tomorrow. No more spits. Jorge Bush says, if George gets fired, we will burn Hiley to the ground and hang glide naked over the Palmetto Expressway until he's reinstalled. George will be bigger than Elion. Hang in there, George. Help is on the way, says Jorge Bush.
Thanks. We have the same birthday, and I'm the baby Jesus.
Curious says, you just told Neil that George, and any clergyman is essentially a priest. Neil asked you if a rabbi was a priest. You didn't respond. What's your answer?
I thought I did respond.
What did you say?
I think I said yes.
Oh.
If I recall.
Oh, Father Rabinowitz? It says, thanks, Joe Bell sucks. I'm going to Taco Bell instead. And I'm going to do a quick Joyce during this break. If I'm not back, you'll understand why.
Okay.
It stinks in Miami town.
Oh.
At 560 WQAM.
Abu Ghraib.
Don't like all the heartburn. Every time I see that retarded dimwit on my TV. He's President Dumb Republicans muscled in and inarticulate. Stupid heat. Mindless, drunk, and rich kid. He's even dumber than me. He's President Dumb. You don't care what it took. You got him in by hook or crook. The Christian right knows what's best for you and I, but have no fear. We've got a great leader. With President Dumb.